It's a Kakuna. You can catch it. I have since gone live now. Now we're hanging out. Just being dudes.
Shit. Dudes
Okay,
being boys.
everyone, streamer faces on. Let's go. Ah! I don't know if the slap picked up. I just slapped myself in the face.
It did. It just sounded like a slap and then
We're gonna bone each other until one of us falls. Hey Lotus, do you still have that soundbite? Like, did you keep like the MP3 for it or whatever you used?
Yeah.
Because I might fix your thing up a little. It's gotta be louder.
Yeah. I'll DM it to you.
Louder.
I know. I wish it was louder too.
We're gonna bone each other. That's why you edit the audio.
Well, it would have been too much work there.
Thank you. You don't fence with your fist, Lotus. Oh, you got the whole thing.
Oh.
Here.
Yeah, in the sound creator, you can choose which part of it because it can't be more than 5 seconds.
Cool. Let's see.
So you can fix both of them.
No, I'm not dealing with the other one because I don't care about the other one.
Which one do you not care about?
I like the bone each other bit. Properties. How do I edit audio? It's been so long. Audacity. That's where I'm gonna go. Because I have the audacity to bone properly.
You wouldn't know.
Excuse me. It's true. You know, I realize what I can bring to this group that none of you can.
What's that?
I'm the only one here who has virgin blood.
Not when I come to your house tomorrow night.
What? Okay, now listen. This is the second time in the past 2 days that Lotus has made weird implications.
Hey, I meant like I was gonna steal your blood.
Warn your fucking husband?
I meant that I was gonna steal your blood like a vampire.
Well, it fucking didn't sound like that. I just said, like, I have virgin blood. Oh, not when I get over there tonight. What the fuck am I supposed to think?
I'm busy tonight.
What the fuck am I supposed to think?
Can you do Saturday?
I don't want you coming over for my blood.
I don't want you coming for your blood either.
I said coming over.
I know, but I decided to make it funny.
You don't fence with your fist, Lotus.
I've made the decision. I'm not gonna stream, but you know what? I'm gonna link to Scilaps's stream.
Yo.
I'm gonna play Roblox.
Clout. I love having clout. How the fuck do I snip things again? It's been so long.
Snipping tool?
Like a parasite and cut the balls.
I mean, like, in Audacity. I'm fucking doing shit. We're gonna bone each other until one of us falls.
I'm fucking doing shit.
Shit is what I'm going to call my girlfriend, and then I will say I'm doing shit when sex. We're gonna bone each other until one of us falls.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give you points on that one. Did not laugh. Not funny.
Yeah, I know. Tired brain, man.
That one needed more time in the oven. That
really did. But you know what? Fuck you.
No, I'm not shit. I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that.
I think the ones of those that I like the best was like "Come in Peace."
My favorite one was like the yearbook quote that said like, "Enjoy the simple things in life, like blowing bubbles," and then the one right next to him was like, "They used to call me Bubbles."
That's nice.
And it was like, because I'm always floating around or something like that. I don't remember.
Effect. Volume and compression. I want to amplify the volume, I think. We're gonna bone each other until
one. Asking for VR permissions.
Because there's VR Roblox.
We're gonna bone each other.
I don't
until
have my
one of us-
headset plugged in.
Yeah,
That's
but
really
there's
strange.
VR stuff.
VR Tupers.
We're gonna bone each other.
No,
until
someone
one of
took
us
the
fall.
purple one.
The purple what?
The purple,
The purple guy.
No, someone took the pink one! God damn it. What do I do? I'll get black.
Project as. No, I don't want to save project. I want to save the actual file. How do I save the file? Save project. I don't want to save project. How do I convert it into an MP3? Motherfucker. This is what happens when I don't use Audacity much. I gotta learn this tool, man. I gotta learn how to do these things. Oh, export audio. That's what it is. I don't want it to be a WAV. I want it to be an MP3. And I want the file name to be Bonefist.
Bonefist?
Bonefist. Hoo-yah!
Until we meet again.
That's not Bonefist.
Bonefist. Open soundboard.
We're gonna bone each other until one of us falls.
What do you mean?
We're gonna bone each other until one of us falls.
What do you mean? It's 20 gigs!
What's 20 gigs?
This Baldur's Gate update.
Oh, what? You haven't done update 6 yet.
We're gonna bone each other
I
until
thought
one
I
of us
did.
falls.
The sex update. I mean, I know it's called the romance update, but you know.
A sex update. I love. the part of
Unfortunately, I'm
Baldur's
past the
Gate where you
point
get
of boning
the-
people.
What?
He's past
Mark's
the point of
already-
boning people.
Mark's
Yeah,
already
past-
unlocked that achievement.
I sure did. It is shocking how much action I'm getting in Baldur's Gate, which is really funny because I'm playing it with my brother.
Oh?
Mm-hmm.
Bump.
Lotus, have you heard any of my Baldur's Gate woes?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm playing. So my brother bought
gonna
me a
bone
copy
each
of
other
Baldur's
until
Gate
one of
3
us falls.
back before it got its full release. Okay, and we promised each other that when the game came out officially, we both
We're
play
gonna
through
bone
it.
each other
And then I
until
had the
one of us
bright
falls.
idea of being like, "Hey, what if I record our experience and go through that and make a video off of it?" And he's just like, "Sure, I don't care. I just want to play the game." He's playing a orc dark urge paladin of vengeance, which means he is
We're gonna bone
violent,
each other until one of us falls.
is just killing everybody he can get his hands on, and he's going around as his stream persona, Manmeat. You know Manmeat. Everyone knows Manmeat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's less of a RPG experience of us traveling together, and more like I am the messenger of the apocalypse. I run ahead of him to places to try and intercept NPCs and stuff before he arrives. To try and keep the body count down. Unfortunately, it has not worked. So we have scorched earth everything we have come across. Everything. There has yet to be, like, besides the most recent area, Baldur's Gate itself, we have not. There has been no survivors. But on the other side of things, where you have your companions and stuff like that, Manmeat is viewing every single one of our companions as nothing more than a means to an end. So he's locked down the cleric girl Shadowheart, unfortunately, as a buff stick, as he has tied her to his hip, basically, so that she can give him buffs. But here's the funny thing. When you have a companion tied to your character, because it basically links companions to a particular player, so that player is responsible for their actions and things like that, primarily for combat purposes. The other player cannot interact with them. They will refuse. They'll just say, I'm busy, right? So in the small times when Manmeat doesn't have Shadowheart tied to him, I go out of my way to go and have a conversation with her so that I can get the content of, hey, Shadowheart, how are you doing, right?
Yeah.
All of the work that I have been putting into Shadowheart has been translating to him, because it's counting all of the good reputation I'm building with her into story beats that are meant to happen, but because he's tied to her, he's having them experienced to him, not to me, which is really funny because it's like I'm behind the scenes setting him and Shadowheart up together and then walking away, and he's just like, who the fuck even are you? Where are my buffs?
You're wingmanning him, and he's just like, I don't give a shit.
Exactly. The best part is my personal favorite example of this is if you are actively like doing things to help somebody, like you're listening to their stories, following the things that they're talking about, and then, you know, say in her case, hey, I am a worshiper of Shar, and then you find a statue of Shar, like a little idol, and you hand it to her. She's just like, whoa, that's super cool, right? They will eventually pull you aside and have a conversation just like, so are you trying to give me hints? Are you trying to tell me things? So it was really funny watching Shadowheart pull Manmeat aside and being like, these are really lovely things you've been doing for me. And he's like, who the fuck are you? What are you talking about?
That's beautiful.
That being said, though, he has, as we are in now the third act, actually abandoned Shadowheart for Astarion. And he's abandoned Shadowheart for Astarion entirely just because he's trying to abuse Astarion as a rogue, as a thief rogue specifically, so that he can loot everybody of all of their worldly possessions, which we have been doing, as well as combined his bonus attack that he gets for being a thief with a bunch of lightning things to inflict status effects on people in a quote-unquote broken build, which has not been very broken and has more often than not ended up with him just doing fucking all. But it's funny.
Nice.
But that means that Shadowheart has been open and available to talk to, which has been fun, except I'm not going to explain what happened, but he did a thing with her quest, and he chose a decision that I personally do not agree with, and she has been put on a path that she cannot be taken off of, to say the least. So in the end, Manmeat has essentially corrupted the poor girl, and I'm over here handing her flowers and things, being like, it'll be okay. That being said, because I've been doing all of the NPC interactions, I've also had all of the awkward NPC interactions. Like our second session, where we were just walking around the first map, started with me being pulled aside by Lae'zel, the green skinned violent lady, and her being like, hey, you, hello? I love the way you smell. I think about it constantly. We should have sex. It's like, whoa! Whoa!
Here they come!
Well, I don't know any other way to court someone.
She's very, to the point. It's one of her charming features, but boy, does it make some moments awkward. Like that. I apparently pissed her off after I did that.
Oh
He
dear.
said, I was like, no, I'm good. I don't really know you. I don't know if I want to go this path or not.
Funny thing, one of my mods, Atmisk, their barbarian was, from what I could probably gather, trying to talk to Lysel and try and court Lysel.
Mm-hmm.
I had the interesting situation of talking to Astarion and inadvertently flirting with him.
Inadvertently.
I ship it.
And,
That's
and then later on in the sessions, Astarion approached a character for sex. It was the
Was it the
barbarian.
barbarian? Yep.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. We're like, how did this even happen? Like, he hadn't interacted with Astarion.
Was it for the same reason of you had built up a thing with him, and because he had Astarion on his party?
We're a 4-person group. None of them are in a party.
I see.
So of course they just rolled with it, and yeah, it's like, well, gonna have to censor this. Can't be putting this on the YouTubes.
Can't be putting that on the YouTubes. No, I've had the gratuitous couple of sex scenes as well, which is just gonna be censored.
Glad I got use out of the sexual difficulties screen.
My favorite bit from that entire thing though is things happened. I'm not gonna go into details because that's big spoilers.
We're gonna bone each other until one of us falls.
Well,
big spoilers, Sylaps.
big spoilers. But
I actually
I
don't know
ended
if
up
Sylaps did that.
having a romantic evening with a mind flayer at one point.
Oops.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Do you guys know what a mind flayer looks like?
No.
Let me go find a picture. Let me go find a picture for you guys so you get an idea as to I'm gonna put it in danger zone.
Not exactly the spoiler, but I turned myself into a walking weapon.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. It's in danger zone. You can see it.
I was using Astral Guardian, and I took out half of an encampment just using that.
Oh, it's a very powerful spell.
Yeah, it is. And just a cleric just running through and suddenly like just leaving a wake of dead bodies was pretty great.
So I had a romantic evening with a mind flayer. And this had a consequence I wasn't ready for. In that because of a sort of psychic thing that is happening to your characters throughout the game, I accidentally broadcasted the entire romantic evening to all of my party members.
Uh-oh.
So when it was all said and done, and the two of us are having a little pillow talk, I roll over and I see a vision of all of my companions staring at me disappointed. And the mind flayer goes, "Don't worry, I'll make sure they forget." It's like, okay, cool, thanks, buddy.
That's something.
Oh.
Wow. Indeed.
Apparently, I can't claim any channel point bonuses on Scilaps's channel anymore. It just won't let me. It errors.
Oh,
Hit
great.
refresh.
I only have 72,000 channel points. What am I gonna do with these?
Oh no, are you going to make a tweet, unlock an emote? That's it. I think.
That seems very tempting.
Oh no, what are we gonna do?
Your mom.
Silap's tweeting coming.
Boy howdy, I can't wait to get canceled. Ah, Mock, since you're in the channel, I got a little Mawile in my hand.
You do. I've been noticing it.
I'm not gonna use it because I like Pokeball Bio, but I have it.
It's a pipe bomb.
It is a pipe bomb, and it even makes a little Mawile cry. Where it's like, ow, ow, ow! But in a not weird sounding way. Like anime
Fuck,
cry.
okay. Yeah. The Pokemon's just letting out a cry as you lit a fucking fuse on the top of its head and planning on throwing it.
It turns all
You
explosion
know, I would probably let out a
sounds
cry
into
too
that.
if you fucking turned me into a pipe bomb.
Yeah? Would you?
I
Yeah.
randomly and unexpectedly have to leave.
Oh no.
Oh. I hope everything's okay.
Yes.
Well, take care then.
Okay, I will. I love you guys. Bye.
Love you,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.
We are down a moth.
Man, her only contributions today were the funny voices, the voice stuff.
Ah, shit, I didn't ask them if they listened to that music yet. I forget. Damn. Well, hold on.
Holding on.
Let's just look at that satisfactory.
Oh god, they set a fire.
I'm guessing they're going to go play with their other cooler friends.
What, Lotus?
Yeah.
That sounds like something Lotus would do. She really likes having other friends more than us.
No. It's definitely not like that, and I'm not going to begin creating that narrative.
Well, you're not, but I am. Lotus and I have this back and forth all the time. It's perfectly fine if I do it. Gotta turn down my audio a little bit so I can hear things. Well, by things I mean you guys. You are things. Bill, you really need to get out of there, pal. Yep.
For things?
Yep. It's like
For really
thing
and for
1
true?
and thing 2. Oh yeah, I forgot to duplicate these.
Grab the chain gun.
No, I don't want the chain gun. I think I just threw my gun off the edge.
I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I can play Crisis 4.
I got a
right
chain
now.
gun here.
Right now, right this second.
Right this second. Call me Zach Fair.
I am not
Bitches.
calling you that.
Too bad, that's my name now. I'm Zach Fair.
Your name isn't
Is that
that.
unfair?
Your name is something else.
Reloading here.
Oh, it's a little guy. One of my favorite things to do sometimes is just hang out in survival with a bunch of survivors and watch them all slowly die over time while I just fuck around. It's a great time.
God,
What?
it's taking me through the tutorial thing, but I've kept all of my stuff from when I beat the game. So a bot that shows up that's supposed to body you, I two-tapped.
Every single one of my guys has died. And that Dragonite is climbing a tree. I'm going to die here. Maybe not.
Is this how the Silapse ends?
Probably not, but it's pretty close.
So is that crossbow like a grenade launcher?
It's a military sniper, and it's a crossbow from, I think, I forget what game it is. I know it's like a dystopia game. It's not
Dishonored?
Borderlands. Fuck, what is that
It looks a
game?
bit like... No, actually, that looks like Prey.
Not Prey. I know it's not Prey. I don't know what it is, but I know what it's not. I want to say it's not Borderlands, but when I think about where it's from, I think of... Damn it, what was the game that I read on Steam earlier? The underwater city thing. With the big
BioShock?
daddies. BioShock. I think it might be BioShock. I don't remember. I remember it's a
got the same
lady's
kind of,
crossbow.
Art Deco. Got the Art Deco appearance to it.
Everybody is falling.
I can't think of a crossbow that you properly use except for in BioShock 2.
Yeah.
And-
Bioshock 1 has the
I'm gonna quickly look it up.
you have the trap mines. That's fired using a crossbow.
Elizabeth's crossbow from
So it's
BioShock.
from Infinite. Okay.
So it's from Infinite, okay.
Yeah, BioShock Infinite.
both
Infinite's
wrong then,
Burial at Sea DLC. That's where this is from. Also, they're just having a time over there. Meanwhile, there's a tank closing in on them.
Yeah, it wants me to do basic training mission where I go and kill soldiers.
I don't see why this tank is only going after me, the only actual threat to it.
Oh my god, I still got all of my synergy shit. I'm using Sephiroth's goddamn combo on a level 1 Shinra grunt.
Yeah, he deserves it.
I hear multiple tanks now. I am in grave danger.
I'm in danger.
I don't even have a first aid kit, I have a defib. That was rather foolish of me. Hey look, everyone's here except for that one over there. It's Bill again. He likes hanging out on his own.
Run, Bill, run!
Oh, we're about to lose all of the women. Oh, the Dragonite is ignoring Bill. Oh, Bill just killed himself. That's not good. He literally was like, "Aw, shit, the tank's on me." Jumped right off. He didn't even get smacked off. And now Zoe is hanging, and now everyone's ready to drop off this or jump off this drop ship, which killed several of them last time. Don't come for me again, tank. Go for the other people. They're cooler.
Guys, over here, I could use a hand. Thanks.
How did I put death on my sword?
I don't know. Thank God they don't understand how this vehicle works. Otherwise, I'd probably be dead. Ah, the two final survivors are running after me. Zoe... Oh, Zoe and Lewis. Oh god. The bodies are starting to hold up my vehicle. Boom. Nick, what are you doing, pal? Hi, Nick. I saved you, Nick. Bye, Nick. Bye. I am the last living member of my team. Everyone else is either down or dead. I didn't take adrenaline with me. I'm gonna fucking die. I kinda bank on having adrenaline. I hear you, Zoe. I hear you. You're getting run over by a train, Zoe. Alright, well.
Got some chest paddles.
Time to run for my life.
Clear. All right. Some serious shit.
Uh-oh.
I need help now. I'm on my way.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Over here.
I just got soft locked and then killed.
Tank.
Moided.
Moided by game mechanics.
Moiders.
Somebody's help just for 5
I was hanging on my little shuttle because I got punched by a tank, and then I just fucking died when it started moving. Oy. Add-ons. Scripts. Bum ba-dum, bum ba-dum. Ba-dum ba-dum, bum bum ba-dum ba-dum. I'm so sleepy today.
So EP.
I have been having terrible sleep for the past, like, 2 days.
You know what? I've also been having the terrible sleep. I fully understand it.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
so
I
glad
had
we
a
have bad sleep.
I had a bad sleep last night.
Oh my
My
god.
fire alarm decided that it wanted to beep every 30 seconds.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, it's gotta
no!
make sure that it's working right, you know?
No, that was it. The battery's running out.
Oh. Well, at least you now know.
I was very much aware at 2 o'clock
Following
this
is half
morning.
the battle.
So I said, fuck it. I'm not changing it right now.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, I'm more tired today than I should be.
I'm very tired. I've been doing non-stop shit almost this entire week. In training.
We should
After finishing the
just
sponsored shit, man.
we should just all have one big nap.
One big nap together.
One big nap.
To be honest, if I'm napping, I'm gonna go and sleep.
Yeah. I wish I didn't like taking naps, but that sometimes I just get very tired. But
Yeah.
the truth is, every time I've taken a nap, it's always been bad. I wake up feeling worse than when
Yeah.
I felt beforehand.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna go and start thinking about getting some rest or something because yeah, I am just flagging.
Alright. Bill,
Y'all
how
have
are
fun.
you always the one dying? Yeah, bye-bye, Karons.
I will speak to y'all later.
You have a good night there.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And then it was just us.
Just us. Just the two
Just
of
us,
us.
boy. We can make it if we try. Just
We-
the two of us.
We are both boys. There are two of us, and
Wow.
we are Pug.
Are we Pog or are we Kring?
I'm not Chris Kringle. Oh boy, danger, and I don't have a melee. Oh hey, a tank. Hi, Mr. Tank. Goodbye.
Heads up. Hey, I'm reloading.
Come on now, walk that shit off. I don't feel so good.
Bum-ba-dum.
Reloading.
Something
It's
funny
not
occurred.
even. It's not even fair, dude.
What? Something going on?
I'm an end game character at the start of a fucking RPG.
Oh, great.
Like, I'm almost level 50. And these guys are level 1. I'm one-tapping everything.
Yeah.
It's not even fair.
Hey, keep shooting, keep shooting.
This isn't even what I wanted to do. I wanted to go and do, like, the missions I didn't complete because I couldn't complete because I was trying to, like, beat the game at the time. But I had to get through the beginning of the game to hopefully be able to do the other shit.
Fun.
If it ends up being that I have to just re-beat the game to get to the stuff, it's gonna take my enthusiasm and throw it the fuck away. Which is a shame, because this is a really fun game, but getting rid of some of the parts of the game that are the most fun, like the combat.
What game is it again?
I'm reloading.
Final Fantasy Crisis Core.
God damn it, I am seriously foobar.
You might actually have fun with Crisis Core.
Yeah? What makes you
Yeah.
say that?
Because it's got very happy vibes. Zack is a very, very fun character.
Yeah.
Its active combat is very fun. It's kind of reminiscent of the Tales series.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think, is there anything else?
But we gotta get you healed quick, like.
Oh, thanks for that.
Understand?
No, not particularly. Nothing that I can think of that would be relevant to you.
Yeah. It's an RPG. I heard that part.
It is an RPG. You are correct.
I could put it in my list of like 30 some other RPGs, which I will eventually go to. That I know I said this earlier. I don't know if that was on stream or off stream, so I'm gonna repeat it for off stream people. But the whole like wanting to do like the sit down gaming with like an additional person while doing things. The whole thing that I really want to do is like a lot of RPGs, and it's such long stories, and it's like to find someone who would want to commit to that. Like for example, I really want to do the Persona games, and I think I might do 3 by myself because I'm actually blind to it, whereas for something like 4 and 5 I'm a lot less blind, and I want to find like blind people interested in it.
That's gonna be difficult,
I
my
know,
friend.
I know.
I don't think you're going to find anybody in our group besides maybe Trinky.
I wasn't
who's
thinking our group too much. I'm just talking like
outside of-
in general.
in general, that's still going to be a tall order.
Oh, yeah.
Because Persona became, very mainstream in the public eye.
I've known a lot of people who have shown interest in Persona but know nothing about it. So it's not as difficult, but it's more a matter of who would be interested for a sit-down of it.
First aid here.
I'm afraid that excludes the shit out of me, especially.
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be much of an experience for you, you know Persona.
That doesn't change the fact that I can't enjoy it.
Yeah. For me, what I like is, like, the fact that I get to go through something that I know I would enjoy, but it's like I don't enjoy it as much if I just sit there and I know all the twists and turns of it. Like, all the ins and outs. And that's why I want, like, people to be there.
I feel a complete opposite feeling towards that, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. Knowing what's going to happen and knowing the twists and turns, I can appreciate the moments beforehand where at which they may have hinted it or shown it and I wasn't privy to it at the time.
No, I like that part for, like, replay value and whatnot. But it's like, I'm talking about just from a whole... I'm a big content boy, and learning all these new things for the first time is like... Or for the first time is what really interests people. Whereas, just, like, reflecting on and then acknowledging, hey, there's all these other things that happen going up to it. While I am positive about that, I'm in a horde, so I don't know if my words are coming out clear. While I'm positive about that, it's a matter of, like... I want more to experience, like, new, which is also why I want people who aren't familiar with certain things getting involved and going like, hey, let's do this or something or other. I don't know, it's a whole mess.
I think I get what you're saying. You want to introduce people to new experiences that you can experience alongside them?
Yeah. Rather, it's so I have an excuse to play a game that I already know without me having to just play through the game knowing what, like, every option and every single thing will do. Like, one game series I really want to play through is, like, Telltale's The Walking Dead. Because that's really fun, and I already own all the games. But it's like, I also know what every dialogue option holds, and it's not as much of a fun experience for me if I was to just play through it, because then I'd just rig the deck in my favor for whatever I'm looking for. Because I know exactly how to get from point A to B, and I know what's inevitably not going to work. And then it becomes a whole thing. Huh?
I'm asking, like, what's the problem with that?
I like not knowing exactly what's gonna happen. That's why I love playing games blind a lot more.
And I get that, but you can still enjoy the ones that you do know what's going to happen, despite knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you can't enjoy them. I'm just saying it's more so for my own personal preference. I just don't get as much enjoyment out of it. Because what I'm going through is really just, like, a matter of, shit, I don't know how to phrase it. It's like I could also just watch somebody else play it for the first time on, like, YouTube for a game or something. I know this isn't going to be as clear into the point that I'm going for, but just go along with it. But... God, I'm not good at talking and Left 4 Deading.
Say the things
Listen, man.
Content, boy.
Listen, man. Thingy thing. I'm dying to a tank. I'm alive, but I'm dying. Okay, I escaped a bad situation. So anyway. Thingy thing. I don't even know what I was talking about. So, games. Games. I don't know, I don't find as much enjoyment in playing through a game that I've already played through, where I already know all the ins and outs of what'll come, yada yada. And I really want that. Again, it kind of combines two things that I really enjoy, where it's like opening people to new experiences and also getting to do like co-commentary instead of just me there. Like, I don't know if that's exactly what I'm intending to go for, but I don't know. I can't words, I'm surrounded, Mox. I'm fucking dying. I am getting fisted by a fucking Dragonite, and I have no escape. I'm getting fisted by 2 Dragonites.
I know on my end, there are a billion games that I would love to have individuals be able to experience, but they're never going to, because it's either not for them, or because they have no interest in it, or
I'm ready.
how do I put this?
Bottle puke here.
I guess ultimately it's because they have no interest in it, or have no interest in playing said things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the biggest ones that is a problem with that is actually Snoo.
Yeah.
It may not necessarily seem like it, but getting Snoo to play games is like it is an endeavor.
Yeah.
One of the things that came about from the streaming thing is their availability on Thursdays to join in for making content, which was great because it gave me an opportunity to actually do things and experience the things I've been wanting to with Snoo for a while.
Yeah.
But when things kept going on and all of the Thursgang stuff happened, and they were drifting away with it because, you know, we had other people who could do stuff, and that was fine. It also meant that one of the things I really wanted to do, which was play games with my partner, suddenly became less of a viability,
Oh.
which was a shame, but it is what it is.
Mm.
But there is a massive catalog of things that our group enjoys that we want each other to, you know, check out and do. That, for the most part, we have that Snoo doesn't.
Yeah.
They're of the mindset that if somebody wants them to do something and they're adamant about it, the more you ask them to check it out, the less they're going to do it.
Mm.
So I take advantage, absolutely, of things like Halloween and stuff like that to try and get these experiences, because after twisting their arm essentially to get them to do it, they really enjoyed the experience. And it's like, yeah, you dummy, why were you trying to stop yourself from having a good time?
Where the hell are we?
It's a whole thing.
Now we
I
can
get
talk
it.
as adults.
But if we stay together and keep our heads, we can
Though I
get out
do
of this.
enjoy still being able to have these things, because I can promise you, most of the gaming library that I have played, you guys have not.
Yeah.
I can guarantee it.
I mean, you and Karunzi have a lot more stuff that I've seen, but never played. So I can believe it.
There's also a giant library of things that I enjoy that I take inspiration from that I can't recommend to people for one reason or another. And I've talked about some of these before, one of those being Song of Saya.
Yeah.
I cannot recommend that game to anybody, but boy, is it a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, I've talked about it before. So that's all I'm gonna say on that.
That's fine.
That regard.
Bum, bum, bum.
Another odd position, considering, I guess, our current conversation point. I still don't know how I have wound up the guy who makes all of the play.
You just take on this more leadership type role for the Thursgang.
Reloading.
I'm happy to fulfill it. I don't mind making things and setting things to a schedule. I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it puts a little bit of a stress on me that it's just like, oh boy, I have to make sure that everything's in a row. Did people get back to me on if we're gonna do this? Ah!
Yeah. It's a bit of a funky thing.
And then Thursday happens, and it's just like, aha, funny times.
Whenever it comes down to that, because that's something I've always like wondered about in the back of my head. Because I know you brought up like once before, at least, about like always making the plans for Thursgang and that, and I always worry. I'm just like he's always the one who does it, but it's like I'm not a suggestion guy, because it's like I don't experiment with the other things. I don't really want to ask people to play other games. I'm just like, you know, if someone wants to do something, then I'll let them do it, and I'll go along with it. Whereas, for generation ideas of like, oh yeah, things I want to do, it's like my brain is Left 4 Dead, and that's not a good choice. More so, like, you know, it has its options, but also, for Thursgang specifically, it's a very bad choice.
Well, not necessarily.
Let me rephrase, for when we usually have, like, 5 or more people.
Yeah, once we get the numbers up there, I do agree with that sentiment, because, well, we have a lot of us there, and not every game's going to be able to fulfill those numbers, which is a very unique problem to have to deal with.
Yeah. See, and there's also the fact that I don't really know, like, many video games. Like, I have a lot of different multiplayer games, which I got specifically for any collaborative purposes going forward. But there's also the matter of, like, people having the mutual game. And, I'm like, I haven't even played it to know how much I'd enjoy it, and I don't know if everyone else would enjoy it. It's like, it looked interesting enough to me to buy, however, do I really want to, like, suggest this if I know that, like, 4 out of 5 people who usually show up, like, this would have been a bit earlier, like, I think when it was Lotus and the gang. I know Lotus is part of the gang, but it's just when it was like bigger group. Anyway, and it's like, am I really gonna suggest a game that like a majority of the people don't own and would have to buy to do la-di-da? And it's like, no. Especially if it's a game that I can't say with confidence, like, yeah, we should do this. This is a really cool thingy thing.
On those regards, because, trust me, as the guy who's been there and done that, I get it. There's nothing wrong with taking that risk, because the worst that could happen is someone says no.
Yeah. I suppose that's correct.
Throwing out the suggestion is not harmful. You're not hurting anybody.
I have soft-locked myself.
You've soft-locked yourself.
Oh, it teleported me out. Okay, anyway, continue.
There's nothing wrong with just saying if somebody would be interested in a particular experience or so. They can make the judgments upon you saying your thing if they want to or not. And, of course, you can try and sweeten the deal by mentioning certain points or tailoring it to their experience, of course, to try and get them interested. But at the end of the day, they're the ones who are responsible for saying yes or no. And I can promise, just because someone says no does not mean that they're going to be upset.
Mm-hmm.
But it's scary.
It's a scary experience.
It gets real scared. Like at the start of our thing today, before we got our things going, my throwing out suggestions of things we could do, I had a feeling that, you know, we probably could have enjoyed the Yogg.
Yeah.
But I also knew that in the event that we got through that game, because it's a very shorter game, maybe having a second thing in mind would be a good idea.
Yeah. And that's why you
So it was
brought up, like,
definitely
the don't starve idea?
exactly.
Hmm.
Reloading.
If it worked out, cool. If it didn't work out, well, that is what it is.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
I don't
See,
think anybody's...
Going into Thursgang today, I didn't really ask many questions about, like, making plans and all that, because, for one, with my sleep schedule and uncertainty of things going on, like, everybody's got their different schedules, right? And
Right.
whenever I usually ask, like, hey guys, do we want to plan for so-and-so, or do boop-a-doop-a-doo? And then it just kind of goes... sat in silence for like a while, and then there's like the one reply, either, oh, I don't know, or I think we might be doing this, and then it's just like, it's out of the blue, and it's just, I feel times just don't work for asking questions. I'm not good at it. Or thingy thing. Coach, stop being a fat ass. Sorry.
Trying to find the opportune moment for things.
Yeah, because whenever I usually ask things, and I don't mean this, like, in a negative way to anybody. I don't know if it's sounding like that or not. It's
no,
it's
I'm
more
not getting
so...
the negative.
Yeah, it's more so, like...
I'm thinking we could take on
I pay attention a little bit to some people's schedules, and it's like, I know... Oh, well, this lot goes to sleep around, or is usually busy around this time, and then this other branch is usually busy around this time, then I'll sleep, and I'll wake up, and I'm like, okay, some people here, Alice, I can't deal with your voice, and then some people here are gonna be like, hey, like, or if I bring it up now, I'm not actually gonna be able to respond, because I'm gonna go to work, and then I'm probably not gonna check Discord all that much going forward, or I won't have time to write a response. So then I can't have that, like, more mutual at the time thing. But if we just have the spaced out messages from, like, day 1 to day 2, one person at a time, then it's just going to be a long little pivot and something or other. I'm struggling with words, man.
I can tell.
I'm trying. Listen, I am so recovering from sick brain, and the fact that I've been getting maybe like an hour or two of sleep for the past 2 days. It's not working.
No,
but it's like,
no, it's not. Sleep debt's a real thing, my friend.
And then there's the whole thing about, like, I know obviously I can ask anybody anything and really talk about anything, but I'm also just a big anxious boy, and I don't like asking people to do things or what's going on and whatnot. And I just sit there and I'm like, there's been a time when I've sat in our like little planning page, and I sat there contemplating if I should ask if there's a plan for something or if we should do something for like a literal like 30 minutes, just like, do I not? And just, like, I am so at odds with myself all the time when it comes to something as basic as that. It's funky.
Trying to think of how to respond.
There's not necessarily a proper response. Don't worry too much about it.
Well, I understand where the anxiety of that stems from. I understand, like, you're putting yourself out on the spot. That's a scary thing, even with people you know, because while you know them, you also don't necessarily know how everyone's going to react to certain things, or how do you know that somebody doesn't already have a bias against something, or how do you know that this isn't actually a landmine that you're stepping on, you know?
I've definitely, through my past, have known a lot of people who handle, like, the smallest thing in severely negative ways. And I know that definitely plays a big part in it. And it's like, I know nobody here in the Thursgang is really, like, cutthroat. If I say something, they're gonna lose shit. At least as far as I'm aware.
As far as serious things go,
Yeah.
no. As far as a jokey time go, we have plenty examples of me going off the deep end.
Yeah. But it's like, I think it's definitely played a part in how I act. Stop teleporting in front of me. But it's like, it's definitely played a part in how I approach things. And, the same goes for, like, just in general, like, DMs or something, right? Like, I never message people on Discord, really, unless I have a reason. If I don't have a reason, 9 times out of 10, I will just go dead silent on people. And I hate that, but it's like, I never go further beyond for it. And then it's a whole thing. But I do the same thing with, like, any type of collaborative communication, where I will just be either extremely vague in what I say, or just very broad, or I just say very little, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever person feels like, that seems like it's alright.
You want to know a good example of going out on the limb and just trying something and seeing if it works out?
What's that?
Playing the Resident Evil Left 4 Dead map with you.
Yeah?
Yeah. I know you like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
I knew that was there. But the parts of the Resident Evil map, from the puzzle solving and stuff like that, as well as some of the tricks and traps, I didn't know if they were going to necessarily jive with you, and I could not tell if, hey, there could be an interest in maybe the Resident Evil, or maybe you hate it and I didn't know this.
Yeah. The
But
thing is, I don't know if I've been open up enough about it, but it's like, I will play, like, if somebody shows an interest in wanting to do something, 9 times out of 10, I will do it. Like, whether I like it, whether I don't, and I enjoyed it. And you got a kick out of it too, because it was also Resident Evil, and you knew the stuff you were doing. Whereas if I played that by myself, I'd just be like, oh,
probably wouldn't have been as good as an
statue
experience.
that can move. Yeah, I got to, basically, you got to do the puzzle solving, and I got to do, well, fucking that hammer. I grew attached to that hammer.
The funny ha-has.
There's a mod that spawns in, like, random fan-made melee items in Left 4 Dead 2, and one of the things is the hammer, but it's so rare for me to find it. It's got the same fling effect and everything. But anyway, yeah, so thingy thing about Left 4 Dead Resident Evil map. That is a funky call. But I will state it here, where, like, 9 times out of 10, if you ask me, or even suggest to me just an idea of a thing to play, more often than not, I will play it. The only real reason I'd say no is, like, if I've got other stuff going on, or just really don't want to. Like, for some external reason that has nothing to do with the game at hand. Or if I have to buy it. Which, that's really...
That's a fair one.
Yeah,
very fair
that's
one.
like, if anything, that's the biggest thing that I've said no to, is when people, like, suggest to me, hey, do you want to play this game next week? And it's like, oh yeah, I don't have that game. And it's like, oh, well, it's on Steam, and then I check it, and this game that I know nothing about is like $50, and I'm like,
yeah, that's a hard sell. That's a very hard sell right there.
And it's like, I don't like saying no, but it's like, even I have my limits. And I'm not gonna throw down a large sum of money because someone wants to play a game one day.
Right.
And then...
For a thing that might not even be more than a one-day experience.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, I gotta pick and choose what I prefer. But, what is it? Oh shit, there's a witch next to me. Uh-oh. 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 I'm dying. I heard her, but I didn't actually see her. Anyway, fuck. I've forgotten where I was speaking again. Right, into the microphone. Thank you, Coach.
Your train of thought has left the station.
Yeah, and I wasn't on that train.
That picks me up real good.
Do I hear a
Tragic, you
tank
missed
as
your
well?
train.
I do hear a tank as well. Anyway, but game stuff. Pog.
Game stuff.
Basically, I love playing games with people. That's my biggest, like, payoff for the experience, is if I get to play games with people. Like, if I like it, if I don't like it, it is what it is. But I'll still play it because I get to play games with people, and more often than not, they enjoy what they're playing. Like, one good example, this is really the only game that stands out to me. And it's like, I don't even necessarily dislike the game, it's just something that I don't, like, really do too much playing in, because I don't feel like it much. But, like, sorry. Like Terraria there. Like,
Yeah.
Terraria seems like a game I would love. It's pixel graphics, it's like 2D Minecraft, and it seems like a good time. And then there's all the bosses and whatnot. But I've just never had that, like, strong feeling for Terraria. And it's like, if we played Terraria again, like how everyone wants to do the Calamity mod eventually, it's like, I'll do it. Like, I don't mind it. But it's definitely not a game that I'm in a hurry to go and play whenever it's, like, brought up. And if anything, like, of all the games that Thursgang has done, that's the only one that I really am not, like, super, like, ready for, or not ready for, like, not super, like, run and gun ready to go.
Enthusiastic.
Yeah. And it's like, again, I don't dislike Terraria. It's just a game that I haven't had too much of an attachment to. Because usually when I'm there, I'm just like, I'll hang around with the other people while they do their thing. And I'm just kind of there. Unless you give me things, and then I can make, like, toilet humor with it, because I'm Canadian. You know, poop, and
I
pee,
have no idea
and
what you could be
periods.
referencing to or referring to. No.
Everyone knows Mox. Everyone, as in whoever was there. So, you know what? Not many people. But still, people know. I'll animate it someday. I'm gonna grow up and be an animator boy. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Hopefully. That would be the, like, biggest fuck you, is if I spent the time, like, learning a bunch of techniques and how to do files and texture stuff, only to just be like, you know what, I think I'm gonna give up this line of work before I even do it.
Would that be a fuck you to you, or are you saying that in regards to someone else?
I think to everybody. It'd be a fuck you to
Why?
me, it'd be a fuck you to anyone who's been, like, anticipating me actually making works.
Sorry, Snoo has latched onto my arm.
Oh, shit.
Hello. Can I help you with your biting habits? That does not mean to bite more.
You're a chew toy.
No. No. Stop it, both of you.
What am I doing?
Encouraging them.
I'm not encouraging them. I'm just stating your position.
My position is not chew toy.
You are chew toy.
Nuh-uh, shut up, both of you.
See, Snoo agrees, therefore it is true.
Just because Snoo agrees does not mean that it's accurate.
What do you mean? Anytime Snoo has ever said anything, it has only been correct. As long as it's in agreement with me.
That is a dangerous line of thinking.
Well, if they're in agreement with me, then of course they are correct, because it is me, and I am right. So you are a chew toy, because we both said so.
Is that so?
Fight.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? Hi, Tatty.
Tatty. Hi, Tatty.
That's right, I've got your stream on the
It's
side here. I'm
going,
paying attention.
Tatty. Dude,
We're having
I have a fucking
conversation.
chat toggle. Like, leave me alone. I don't have the convenience that I can just look at it. I gotta pull it up, and it also has to load for a few seconds.
Get that second monitor, nerd.
It's a fucking laptop, Mox.
Get a second monitor, nerd. I had a laptop with a second monitor.
How the fuck do you have a... Yeah, did you also stream on a box that's the size of the laptop?
Yes, actually.
Yeah? Then what did you do with the other screen?
So the screen that was connected to the laptop was connected via an HDMI cable to a TV because it wasn't really a screen. And I'm still using that TV as a monitor, mind you.
Fun. Did you also have this stuff on a bed?
No, it's not on a
Fuck you.
that's the hill you're gonna die on.
Yup. Well, I used to do the same. Pug. Dude, I eventually really should set up my little table and then learn to build my chair that I have. Because I think I've had this chair for over a year, but it's still in the box.
Should.
Well, it's just because my room is a mess, where it's like, it's the storage room, it's the family storage room. So there's just junk everywhere, and then there's, the fact that I have a big dresser where the only place my table could really go is where the dresser currently is, and it's right next to my bed here, where I am.
And you don't want to, like, rearrange your room.
Yeah, and basically what I'll have to do is I'll have to eventually take apart the dresser, because one day when the dresser fell on me, it broke like 4 out of the 5 shelves.
Your
So
dresser
now
fell
they
on
don't
you?
work. Yeah. Back when I used to stream in my little recording corner, in the corner of my room on my tablet there, there was a time when I was like trying to squish my way out because I had my little quote-unquote soundproofing where I hung up like coats and stuff or towels in the way for my fucking hook thing, the coat rack that I have, which is also broken, by the way. But basically, one time I tried to like squeeze in between those two things so that I could exit because I didn't have another way in and out. And when I did, like the back of like my shirt or pants got caught on the thing. And then it started to like tumble forward, and then it crushed me. And I was fine. But I think I caught it on stream, like the audio of it crashing down on me. So I found it funny. But,
So hilarious!
well, yeah, because if it just fell on me normally, it's just like, oh, shit, man, that sucks that it fell on you. But then if I'm just, what is it? If I catch it on, like, at least audibly, I can just go like, poof, my dresser just crushed me. Duh, it's broken. That sucks. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the bathroom now. Because I think that's exactly what I probably would have done. That seems like a very me thing to do after I got
That does
crushed.
sound like a very you thing. Would not stop it from being any less concerning.
Yeah. Someday people will just accept my lack of reaction to certain things.
No, we probably won't.
Probably not, but listen, it's still fun to do. One of my favorite things is because I have such like a lack of reaction to things. People are always like I'll talk about this fucked up stuff, and then or like bad things that have happened to me, and then people are like, "Oh my god, like that's terrible." I'm like, "Yeah, it sucks."
Yeah, it's bad.
Like the other day, when my manager there like switched my work schedule and I came in late to work the one day. I don't think I told this story on stream yet, but basically when I was on my
I
way
was gonna say
there,
this isn't familiar to me.
yeah, when I was walking my way there, this was like probably it was before 12, but it was after 11:30 because I think it was about 11:30 I got the call, so I had to get ready and then started walking to work. But there was this one guy who started like walking behind me. Like we met at a four-way intersection as I was walking, and he just comes over to me, and he's a little stumbly, so I think he might have been drunk. But he was basically saying to me like, "Hey, like I need to check your bag because I wear a backpack to work every single night because that's what carries my steel toe shoes and my lunch."
Right.
And so this guy came over and he's like, "Well, I gotta check your stuff." And I'm like, no, I that's fine. Like I'm just on my way." And he's like, "Well, I gotta check your bag, make sure like you're not stealing anything. I mean, you're walking around late at night." And I had a mask on, right, because it's like cold weather. So I had like this. What kind of mask is it? It's like a elastic scarf, I guess is the best way I could say it. Like it's basically a tube you put your head through, and then it like hangs down from like your face. I don't know. Anyway, so there was that guy there, and he was just like questioning me, and he's like, "Well, listen, like, what are you doing so late at night? Like walking around with a backpack and mask up?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I got work. Like I work overnights at a store over yonder." And then he's just like, "Oh, well, like I don't believe you. Like I think you're a thief and I think you stole something." It's like, "Okay, but
Too
I'm
bad.
not." And so
Are you a police officer?
the thing is, I kept walking, but I was talking to this guy because I was just like, well, like he's again stumbling around, so I thought maybe he was drunk. He was slurring his words a tiny bit too, but he was still like well enough to keep pace with me for a while. Um, and basically I was sitting there with him, and well, not sitting, walking, and what was it? I know like the part I want to go to, but I forget if there was something in between. I feel like there was something in between.
Making sure you're not missing out on any of the parts.
Yeah. Cause like the lead up goes to that when he was following me, he just started saying thief. Like he wasn't like yelling it, but he was just vocally saying like thief, 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 like just following me behind for a while. And basically, to get to work, the fastest way from my place to there is it's pretty much I turn down one road that's at a four-way intersection right by my home, and it's just a straight shot all the way. Then it's just a turn to the left, and there's a water tower in this town. And then you just go through like this dirt pathway alongside some houses that takes you to the next street over, and then through there you cut through a forest, and then boom, you're there. Like right on the other side of the forest is my workplace. And what was it? And basically this guy followed me from pretty much like on that straight road at like maybe I'd say the midway point. All the way to just before the path that leads into the forest, because as soon as I started heading towards the forest, the guy stopped following me. But it's like, the thing is,
sketch the entire way.
The way I handle like serious situations is I analyze what's going on, and I basically try to act on that. Like I said, I thought this guy seemed like a little drunk, and he wasn't like a big guy. He was a scrawny guy. It was a cold night, but he was wearing like a loose, long-sleeved shirt. And it's like it didn't look like he had anything on him. He could have, but I just kind of assumed like he's relatively fine enough. I think if he did anything, I could probably deal with it. I have had a history of self-defense classes, so it's not like if he decided to suddenly take a jump at me, like I'm keeping an eye on him, so I should be fine. But so there was that going on. Yes, hello Nick. Thank you for coming over while I storytell. No, we're not ready. I'm telling a fucking story. But yeah, so la-di-da, I get to work, I go in, and my manager's just like saying like, "Oh, you having a good night?" And I was just like, "Not really. I just had a weird experience." And he asks me like, "Oh, why? What happened?" And I told him the story. And the thing is, I tell my stories with like a really straight face, and he's just like, "Okay, like, are you actually okay though?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He's like, "Okay, but like, do you feel your safety is in danger? Like, I have to ask because, you know, you got followed by a guy to work." And it's like,
Yeah.
"No, I'm fine."
You had this sketch shit happen.
And it's like, I'm in the building. I think I'll be safe." And he's like, "Okay, but like, just so you know, like, it's fine to bring it up." It's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And the
Yeah,
thing
it's
is,
okay.
some other people asked me about that story because my manager brought it up. And then I just said the same story like at a later time, same deadpan face, and one of my other associates is just like, I don't understand how this guy, because he's talking to another associate while we're there. He's like, "I don't understand how this guy can talk about like this fucked up shit and just have a straight face," because I talk about a bunch of different life things that have happened, and it's just so like I love that I don't like overreact to things and I can just sit there. It's fun. But they
Your
like
RBF.
sorry, go ahead.
I was saying your RBF,
RBF?
resting bitch face.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know. But basically, one thing that really took me aback and I didn't even consider at the time, several people who heard that story later told me like, "Okay, if something like that happens, like why didn't you call the police?" And excuse me, I sat there and I was just like, I forgot that's even an option.
Oh, I forgot that the police exists.
The thing is, it's like I've never called 911 before.
And
So
hopefully you don't have to.
there were times where I almost had to, but then I was told like, "Oh no, you know, we got it handled," and things were handled. The only time that I've really been in a position where I almost had to would have been like my father going under from low blood sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, everything's been relatively fine. I mean, we had our family business like a minute away from where he lived, so I just called him my uncle because he usually took care of him. But basically, when they told me that, I was like, "Oh yeah, that is something I could have done." I had my phone like in my backpack. I could have pulled out my phone and done that, but that's something I never think about. Calling the
I never
police.
considered.
Calling the police is never my first thought, and I think that might be a bad thing.
Yeah, that's probably a bad thing.
But anyway, so that's my story about that. How I got here, I don't remember. I forget what we were on about.
You were wanting to explain how your lack of reactions on things that other people are like, why? That's why you told the story.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so that I'm very like anytime messed up things happen or just something really reaction worthy comes up, I just don't.
Katana here.
That's just the way I've been, and everyone thinks like it's a super big concern that I'm so like non-reactive, or they don't believe what I say because they're like, "Okay, you're saying all this stuff and you're just kind of sat there." It's like, yeah, that's how I am. It's not a matter that I'm falsifying stories, it's the fact that I just don't like overly react to what I'm saying, because it's like I'm not in the moment experiencing it. It's something of the past that I'm giving the detail of. So I'm not gonna go like, "Oh yeah, there was this guy and he was following me," and then it's like that was like a week or two ago. It's like, guess what? I made it out alive. I'm fine. He didn't do anything to me, and we're good. So that's the story.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, and it's a whole thing. But it's whatever because I brought up that reason of lack of reaction for lack of reaction. I still don't know what the lack of reaction came from, but that is my story. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you for going to my TED Talk. Talk number 2.
Talk number 2. Anyways, do you have any words you want to talk about? Because I don't know. I forget what we were even talking about before that.
We were talking about your anxieties and things, and your... We really got off tangent.
Yeah, I don't know what we were on about, man. Is there anything you specifically would like to talk about while we're at
There's
it?
plenty I would like to talk about, but whether or not I should talk about it.
It's one of those should we, would we, won't we? It's funky. I love having 8 survivors, because it ruins things, but it's also great, because I don't have to do much work. I can just casually walk through.
Just let them carry you.
Pretty much. Oh, hey. Tanks. Unfortunately, they die easy in this spot.
Alright, I thought of something I could probably talk about.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really glad that people have enjoyed the art I've made recently.
Yeah.
However, it recently put me in a weird predicament.
What's that?
Not an unpleasant one. I want that to be clear. It's not an unpleasant one. But,
What, are you just
someone
like,
we know-
I'm so motivated to make more art, but then it's like, oh, but I might not make all this
kind
art.
of. I've been in an art funk for like a year.
Yeah.
I just stopped making art. I did like nothing as of last year. Like nothing.
Oh man, dude, I totally did the same. Oh, we are so exactly alike.
We're synced up. We're twinsies, bro.
Dude, twinsies. Art I made last year, I didn't even make an emote for my channel. Holy shit. Anyway, continue.
But with the Dokapon and basically the desire to do the versus bits for it, I was happy to be able to do stuff that I was happy with. I was happy to break out of it, and I've been able to sketch things again, and it's been fun, and I'm happy to be able to get there. Now, this might be hard to believe, but I am not a fan of my own art.
Isn't that most artists?
Yes, but I'm saying that as my own part of it. I am not a fan of my own art.
Yeah.
I think that, unfortunately, I have the problem of comparing myself to other artists. It doesn't help that I'm dating a very fantastic artist.
Yeah.
So comparing myself to what they do comes up often, even if it's not something that I should be doing. But my brain can't go, man, look at all the things I can do. Look at all the things I can. It's just like, yeah, how the fuck do you think they got there? They tried. Complaining about it and not doing anything about it gets you fucking nowhere, doesn't it, dumbass?
Yeah. My heart skipped a
that point
beat for a
aside-
second because I thought you said my name for a second.
No, I did not.
And then I was gonna be like, Mox, what the fuck?
I will not.
No, it's fine.
I watch what I say.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
So despite the fact that I'm not a fan of my art, a lot of people are a fan of my art, including said partner.
Yeah.
But someone we know asked about commissioning me.
Yeah.
And I don't do commissions. I don't do commissions at all.
Yeah.
Partially because I don't like my own stuff, and other partially because I don't really know if I can make something tailored to what somebody really wants. Because my art process is either I'm going to sit down and get it done right fucking now, or it's going to be a whip for eternity, or a work in progress.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put that on somebody, especially if they're trying to put money towards me.
Yeah.
I was talking about it with actually Chalk last night because I'm mulling over the idea of it still in my head.
Yeah.
Of whether or not I want to try and do this, because on the one part, boy, it sure would be nice to have money. On the other part, do I think I have the actual artistic integrity to fulfill something for a client?
Reload.
You know, and not
Yeah.
just get started and then lose interest.
Yeah. You gotta
don't know.
have, like, that passion to do it.
Exactly,
Somewhat.
the muse. And I sort of have a muse. It's a muse, I think. It's a muse I don't know if people are tired of hearing me talk about, but my damn goat character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inspires me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't... It's not a consistent thing. It arrives and disappears. Sometimes the desire to create arrives when it's like, I just woke up, it's 4 in the morning, I have an urge to put a pencil to paper, and it's like, I have to be at work soon. I can't do that. I need to get sleep, or I need to get up and get ready.
Yeah.
Or other times, it's just like, I'm in mid-conversation with somebody. Or I'm streaming. Boy, I sure would like to draw circles over and over again and put details to it. And it's just like, why are you like this, brain? Why can't it be in the moment where we're not doing anything important?
Coach, your giant fucking hitbox keeps blocking all the zombies.
Here, you can have this.
Anyway, sorry.
That's fine.
I just went in a circle.
So I'm trying to figure out if I actually am going to go through with it or not. And I don't know how... I'm trying to just figure out how I feel about this. Do I want to pursue more of an expansion of my being an artist? Or do I want to sit back here and continue being a hobbyist?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't really give much input on this, because I've never really been in, like, any position like that to really have a feeling about it. But I do understand where you're coming from for, like, the feeling like doing it at times, but then other times you're just like, but I might lose interest. And then there's also, oh, I've got this thing going on, but I could really go for doing so-and-so right now.
Man, I sure do have a hankering for those creative juices.
It's kind of like how I've been going with my development of Gmod stuff. Like, I've been sat for, like, maybe 3 weeks to a month of not really doing anything. That's not my fault, Coach. Fuck you. But basically, like, I want to make the textures for models and all that. And I haven't done that in, like, about 3 weeks to a month. And then suddenly I got this burst of, like, yo, you know what? What if I work on the model that I want for Snoo? And then I did most of it already within that time, and it's just like, alright, time to worry about making the next one, and then I just don't really do much. Or how I've been putting it off for so long because I don't feel like it. Obviously, commissions are a bit different from that, because there's also, like, the extra...
There's money.
There's money and there's a person who'd be waiting on it, so it's a bit different from that. But again, putting the whole, like, motivation to do it and also appease the person by, like, making sure it's good, something you actually put your heart into, and not something that you'll just start and then go like, I don't know if this is all that great, but I also don't want it to be, like, shit, because this is for somebody, and then I can't work, or I don't have the means to want to work on this, and then do, like, my full potential into making a proper thing. I can't... Words are hard, but I think my point is enough, maybe.
I think the way I would take what you were trying to say and, like, shorten it down would be, if I'm doing it for myself, the only person I disappoint if I don't make it to the end or complete it is myself. If I'm working on it for someone else, then I'm not the only one who gets affected by it.
And then there's the matter of just, again, having your own motivation to do it in the first place. Where, again, that full potential thing comes in, but there's also just the, if you want to or not, because you can't exactly force yourself to make work. Well, you can, but then you'll be more disappointed with the result at a later time. And then there's also that worry maybe you'll disappoint others too. Although maybe it's starting to cycle back to the same point that was just stated. So maybe not. I don't know. But anyway.
Talking in circles.
Lewis. No, you're gonna get me killed, Lewis. God damn it. I'm dead.
Lois!
Lewis! But anyway, I don't know what to say for this. I'd like to just say, oh, well, you should do it. Like, it's Pug. Somebody really likes your work and would really like to have you make a thing for them. And, like, if I was in the position, I'd be like, oh, like, and I'm getting paid for it? Fuck yeah.
Hello, Wisp.
I love money. Oh, hey, Wisp. But it's also that matter of, you know, you don't want to lose the motivation there. And I've known a handful of artist people through my streaming time, and I do know that I've heard, like, similar conundrums before, where it's like, well, pretty much all that we've already talked about. And I've heard this same question of, like, well, should I do it or should I not? Because it's like, it's got these positives, but then there's also this, and then yada yada, and blah blah blah. I don't want to make your thing sound half-assed, but it's just my way.
And marvelous mocks.
Yo, Marvelous Mocks. Whereas I'm SC, just add a P on. No, Spectacular Scilapse / P, then I can become an SCP. Spectacular
SCP.
Scilapse Penis. Anyway, but yeah, so I don't know what my input is. Like, what I would say is, like, I say, oh, you should go for it. It could be an interesting thing to do, and, like, a person wants to go to you specifically because they want your type of stuff, and your type of stuff is Pog, regardless of how you may feel about your own self-works. But I do understand the other perspective of it, where it's like, the other things, which again, to avoid repeating myself over and over in a very unclear manner for way longer than needed, that stuff.
Those things.
Those things. But yeah, for my piece in this, I say Boy should go with it. However, if Boy doesn't, then I totally get that too.
You have no real stakes in this.
I have no real stakes in this, so it doesn't really matter. I fell through a hole. I've run into a corner. Whoops. Anyway. But yeah, so... yeah! I'm gonna drink some water.
Wowder.
Wowder. Protect me, bots. You fucking suck at this, bots. And the zombie AI is just completely broken right now.
Completely borked.
Yeah. I don't think I have too much I can really say further on the matter.
If Boy does start a decision, it will permanently greatly impact my outlook on life. It will. My taking of a commission will impact Wisp's life.
Yes. Who knows? Maybe Wisp will see that art you made for the person, and then they'll just be like, wow, that art has inspired me to do, like, super cool stunts like Evel Knievel. All because of that art. Now I'm gonna become a super epic stunt man. All thanks to you, Mr. Mox. Because you made that art for that one person. And it made me think, like, yeah, I want to be a stunt man.
Stunts man.
Yeah. So yes, it will impact Wisp's life greatly.
And then I crash. No. I cannot be responsible for Wisp crashing. If Wisp was to perish and I was responsible, I would make a Krim cry.
Alright, well, here's the thing, Mox. Wisp forgot to add the /J to the end of that statement. Because they would never crash. Wisp is a holy being that just cannot have physical harm brought upon them.
Reloading.
You see,
Ah,
they
yes,
would
yes,
just
yes.
they would just kill any negativity with their positivity. So if they were about to crash, they would basically blow up, but instead of like blowing up, like let's say it's like off a motorcycle, kind of like in the Shadow of the Hedgehog intro. If he crashes into the thing, he'll jump out of the explosion, and then he'll be perfectly fine, and he'll just be like, "You are loved, you are marvelous, you are great." And then the fire will just disappear, and then he'll do like a triple backflip and land it. And then he'll be okay, because he is Wisp. Wisp is immortal.
Hold up. I gotta heal.
The immortal Wisp.
There, now you can't use the excuse that you getting Wisp hurt would be a thing.
No, I think that still exists there, but good effort? Maybe? Was there an effort?
I don't know. Dude, I'm just spouting shit. You
are
know
just-
me by now.
Just verbal diarrhea.
Pretty much. Sometimes I want to document the things I say, and then reflect on them and see what the fuck I've been thinking through the years. Like
What have been my words?
do a yearly evaluation of the random bullshit that comes out of my mouth. I think it'd be interesting.
But would it? Would it really? And truly?
I mean, with the amount of shock factor I get whenever I say anything from, like, all different parties, I think it'd be interesting.
Don't we have our quotes channel for that very thing, though?
Yeah, but sometimes I go on long tangents, and I don't think anybody's gonna quote those. And I'm not gonna quote them because I'm the one saying them.
Speeches.
Yeah, no one wants to quote speeches because they can't just copy-paste it. They'd have to actually put in the effort to write it all, and why? Why do that when we have video form?
Why do that when you have copy pasta?
I don't know. But really, I should document that sometime, because that's something I wanted to do, because of the amount of times whenever, excuse me, everyone's just, like, very confused by me spouting random jargon. Then it's just like,
I never said which decision would cause this. You never said which decision would cause you to suddenly become an evil Knievel, like, stunt driver.
Or maybe just crash. Maybe they'll just crash just in life.
Wouldn't it be just so funny to go out there and crash a car?
No.
There are so many cars out there uncrashed.
That is true. Mox, should I run out into traffic later to make some crashed car content?
Go play in
You heard it here first, folks. He told me to go play in traffic.
Therefore, any responsibility now falls on them, not me, the one playing in traffic.
Hey man, you are older than me, and we have this dynamic where I will just follow your words sometimes when I feel like it. So
yeah, what a dynamic we have here.
You are liable for my mistakes.
If I was liable for your mistakes, I'm pretty sure you'd be making a lot less mistakes.
What the hell?
No, I'd probably guarantee it.
I don't know, man. Oh, I just flipped a Brit. You know what? If there's all these broken down cars here, broken down and abandoned cars here.
You're
so you know
right.
what? I'm playing in traffic.
I'm thoroughly crashing.
I'm playing in traffic with a sword. Look how playful I am. I'm committing mass genocide on the road because I'm playing with this.
Playing in traffic with a sword.
Yeah, I'll be like that one guy from whichever World War where he went into a gunfight with with like a sword, and just
like Scotsman dude. Who
yeah,
had a
and got
greatsword
like
and, like, a
captured
recurve
and then escaped and then went to sorting again.
Yeah, that crazy son of a bitch.
He's a cool guy. I wish to be like him, however, the modern day would just get me killed. I would probably die if I was like him, but I admire him.
You know, if I was in World War, I'd probably die too.
Mox, if the war ever comes around in World War III, and
No, I'm putting the kibosh on this one already.
Dude,
this bit dies here and now.
Oh, you never let me have my fun hypotheticals.
You never let me go and commit a murder. You never let me do anything.
You never let me do anything fun. You expect me to just do things the right way and do things that are good for my health. I'm a grown adult now.
If I want to go and get shot on the beaches of Normandy, I will do it. Oh, there we go. There's a new clippable quote. Put it on the soundboard.
Hey, Paperweight, with the cross, is that two sausages or are my eyes just bad? Pepperonis. It's pepperonis. Pepperettes.
Pepperoni.
But yeah.
Pepino spaghetti. That's what it took to get you to laugh?
No,
that's
I'm
what
just,
it took. Just saying Pepino spaghetti.
It has nothing to do with that. I'm just reflecting on the conversation we just had before that.
Dude, this NyQuil is beating your ass.
All I was thinking about was just that I'm a grown man. I can make my own decisions to go off into the war and die on the beaches thing. I'm a grown-ass man. Don't mind the voice crack. Or my butt crack. Or the crack on the road. You know, step on a crack, break your mother's back. But then what happens if... Never mind.
Silas, I got a question for you.
What's your question?
Out of the Thursgang, who would you say is the straight man?
What does it mean to be the straight man?
The more normal one.
The more normal one?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta pause my game for a minute here.
You have to think.
I have to really think on this.
Because I have my answer.
Yo, Snoo just acknowledged my funny. Yo, Lotus didn't even acknowledge it. Anyway, let me take a look here. Are we counting Chalk and Sunny, or are we talking, like, more...
We're talking regular Thursgang.
Regular. I'm cutting Kumo, then. Fuck you, Kumo.
I don't want to influence your thing, so I'm going to say my piece.
We've all had our chaotic bits. I can... Here's the thing. I can definitely say it's not Lotus. I can definitely say...
It's not Lotus.
Well, I can more certainly say I don't think it's Snoo. I don't think it's me. Really... I feel... the thing is, I've had this thought in my head before, but I've kind of juggled answers. Because there's a lot to, like, think about for it. It's not just, like, cut dry. Yeah, no, it's probably this one. And then there's the reflecting on how much I know about the individuals, too. And also the histories I've had with each individual one. My thought process is saying Trinky. But even then, I'm not entirely sure. The thing
is an opinion-based thing, so there's no wrong answer.
Yeah. See, I like to jump to you, but also you have your bigger differences from the others, and you've got your fucking thingy thing. Fuck. God damn it! There was a point about you that I've had before, and I can't remember what it is.
You've had a point about me before?
Yeah, because I've thought about this question before. I just didn't refer to it as straight man. Because I like analyzing groups and then like picking apart like different roles that they could fill or different
You heard
like
that here first, folks.
archetypes.
He likes to pick people apart.
I do. And then Krunzy, he's got his funky moments, and then sometimes he's relatively normal-ish.
Ish.
I'll probably say Trinky for my pick.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Of your opinion?
Yeah. I might change it later, but for now, that's my pick.
That's also my pick.
Yo.
So I feel like amongst all of us, Trinky's the most put together and more not prone to bits of great insanity as much as the rest of us.
Yeah, she's more along for the ride.
Mm-hmm. She's unfortunately stuck with our shenanigans. For better or worse.
Yeah. Yo! Hold on, just to break away from that for a second. Green car! Purple car! Yo, that's like us.
It's like our colors.
We're cars, we're in traffic, we're going to die.
We're gonna go storm the beaches in Normandy.
Okay,
yeah.
now I'm imagining that, but make us like those sentient cars that like walk on the two wheels and then their like hands or arms are supposed to be the front wheels.
I am not drawing us as fucking car OCs.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's what I imagine now.
I've drawn some funny things. I've drawn some terrible things. I drew Big Ben and the Eiffel Tower Mackin, and then I did that for charity. And then the next year I did the same thing, but made the Eiffel Tower... No, I made Big Ben pregnant.
I thought you were gonna say you made Big the Cat, and I was like so excited for a second.
No, I have not drawn Big the Cat.
Damn.
Don't really have an interest in drawing Big the Cat, I'm sorry.
Damn. No, how am I gonna get my Big the Cat fix? What
Don't
if
fix Big the Cat.
What if I try to commission you to make Big the Cat, then will you? I don't care if you don't have the motivation. You can just draw like a purple circle and yellow eyes, and I'll just be like, yo, this shit was worth it. I don't know why I wanted to blow myself up there. It gave me like 3 explosive options, and I took the easiest one.
You took the sudden stop path.
Pretty much. I love playing this game
Violence
on...
is a grass type, Mox is a poison type. I thought it'd be more of a psychic type.
I was gonna say, you definitely see more psychic than poison, but I think it's the purple affiliation. They're associating purple more than pink.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, I think Lotus has taken more purple and I've taken more pink.
Yeah. But Lotus isn't here, so Lotus isn't in the headspace currently.
Lotus isn't in the running.
Lotus is a literal bug. She's literally a Venonat. I showed her, or I told her about what a Venonat was, and she thought like it sounded cool, and I think she saw it and was like, lame.
An all-terrain Venonat?
Just funky, or was it Venonat? Hold on, I need to remember.
Are you talking Venomoth?
It's confusing because of the names sometimes, because I know there's the one that, like, flips it. Oh, it's Venonat. Shit, no. I think I meant Venomoth. Venomoth. Is it Venomoth? It's Venomoth. That's what it was. Not Venonat.
It was Venomoth. I was correct.
They always confuse me, man. The Venos have the weird name change. Or something. I forget what it is.
Yeah, what about Nidoran and Nidorino?
Well, those are different evolutions. Nidoran is first stage. Nidorino
I'm talking about
is second
the two
stage.
different Pokemon also named Nidoran.
Well, yeah, there's Nidoran male, Nidoran female, and then they evolve into Nidorino and Nidorina.
Nidoking and Nidoqueen, respectively,
Yeah.
yes. But
It's only the
until then,
Nidoran part that's different.
Up that ramp.
Nidoran and Nidorino.
No, it's Nidoran
Yeah.
and Nidoran. Then it's Nidorino, and then Nidorina.
No, it's Nidorino both ways.
What?
Clearly.
No. Don't you
Yeah,
fucking gaslight me on Pokemon. This is my fucking ground.
It says
For,
the
like, the
person who
first
couldn't
few-
think of Venomoth.
Dude, Venomoth and Venonat, both Gen 1 Pokemon. Both fucking Veno at the start of the name. Both Pokemon I don't give much proper attention to. There's over 1,000 Pokemon. Can you cut a guy
Your
some
knowledge-
slack?
I'm afraid not. I can't. You're the one who said, "Hey, don't you dare try and gaslight me on Pokemon." You seem like the person who's an expert, so I should be able to make sure that your word is always 100% accurate, sir.
Yeah, but it's not like Pokemon Masters can't make mistakes.
They can't. You're correct.
Fuck
so
you.
What are you then?
Fine, I'm just a Pokemon apprentice, okay? I
I'm
learn my
just a
things.
fraud.
Dude, I love Pokemon though. Don't fuck around with Pokemon.
Wish I could say the same.
Don't worry, man. Someday I'll throw something in your face, and then you'll just be like, "Yo, Pokemon." Maybe if
Yeah,
I go
probably
out of
not.
what if I go out of my way to make a ROM hack that features relevant things with friends? Would you play it then?
I would play it. That wouldn't exactly change my
I'm gonna
feelings
make
towards
you
the Pokemon series.
super love Pokemon then. I'm gonna
You
make
are
it
going
so
to fail.
interesting.
You
Dude,
are going to fail.
Every wild encounter will just be a Mawile, and it'll be great.
That would be awful. I don't want to kill my favorite Pokemon
Every
over and over again.
trainer will have a Mawile. But the good news is, you have Master Balls, and you can capture any Pokemon, including one's Trainer Zone, because that is a thing you can do with cheats. So yeah, guess what? It's
With
just, you will be rolling in mouth babies.
Well, you heard it here first. Psylapse, confirmed person who enjoys running and playing in traffic, has promised his friend Mox live in front of a studio audience that he is going to, quote, roll him in mouth babies.
Maybe it's like the Dairy Queen mouth, but as a baby.
The Dairy Queen mouth.
Yeah. And then it's just his, like, offspring. Oh, goddammit, I got a phone call.
Well, everybody, this has certainly been out-of-pocket moments with Mox and Psylapse. Nobody take any of this out of context now, and don't throw Pokeballs at me. Don't do that. Take offense to it.
Ah, fuck.
Ah.
My store was calling me because they have to do this checkup thing every single time someone calls in sick. However, they love to call me after I'd usually go to bed. Except usually they call later, so I'm surprised. Anyway, did I miss any funnies in the span of time that I picked up the phone?
No.
Damn. Throw a
There have been no
Pokeball
funnies.
at Mox. Take everything out of context. Throw his Pokeball. Watch is catch rate for... Oh, what is catch rate for Mox? Are you legendary, mythical, pseudo-legendary, other? Mox is a Route 1 mon. Because I want to catch him immediately so he can just be on the team forever.
First aid kit here.
Nope. I'm either going to be everybody's favorite starter, or I'm going to be that legendary that's just there throughout the story.
Hey, let's use the radio.
Laser sights
Yeah,
here.
you gonna kill some zombies.
White Forest comm system, welcome. I have social anxiety. I don't know if I can call the military for help in the zombie apocalypse. It's kind of scary.
Why not?
Too much anxiety, Mox. Too much anxiety. I mean, it's a life or death situation, but I gotta talk to people. Ugh. Scary.
Disgusting.
Mox looks like that one mouse. Morpeko. Is that the... That sounds like, I
That's
know,
the,
like, Gen
two-color
6.
face mouse, right?
Hey?
The two-color face mouse, right?
Two-color face mouse?
Yeah.
Maybe. Because I was gonna say, I know Generation 1 through 5. 6, I know a like, fair bit about. Gen 7 further, I'm lost. And I think that is Gen 8? Because I think that's Sword and Shield. But yeah, I don't know that stuff. Listen, I'm a Pokemon master, but not for 1,000 Pokemon. Only for like 600 and some, not even. Ask me Gen 1 through 4 and I'll probably know. Ask me Gen 5, I start to slip up. Ask me Gen 6, I'm just clueless. A little, for the most part. Gen 7 beyond, you fucking good luck.
Good luck.
Flamigo. That's a Pokemon. It's a flamingo. Fuck it, I'm not gonna need a first aid kit. I'm gonna take... Do I want... Oh, what Pokemon? What Pokemon do we want to leave with? Do we want to leave with Pikachu? Do we want to leave with the actual animated Plusle and Minun, which we can juggle around in our hands and is actually very appropriate for me to have because I'm the protagonist from Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness who actually has this significant connection to Plusle and Minun? Or do I go with Vulpix?
You're apparently a Duskull or a Dusclops.
Dude, Duskull used to be like my favorite Pokemon for the longest time. You know, I've always sat and thought to myself, this is just because I picked up Vulpix now, but one thing I've always thought about is, like, in an actual setting, if I was to have a Pokemon as... Oh, hey, a Alolan Vulpix. I don't like this one. Why'd you show your butt to me first? Other Vulpix didn't do that. He's normal.
I'm gonna go find a thing. It was a thing that, the Poor Kim crew did for funsies.
Yeah. While you find that thing, can I say the thing I was going to?
Yes.
Okay. But I've always wondered that thought of, like, oh, if I was to have... Like, if Pokemon was real, and let's say you could only, like, have one as, like, a main, like, partner Pokemon or something, like, what Pokemon would you want as your partner? And it's like, my top 3 favorite Pokemon are Porygon, Quagsire, and Bulbasaur. And I feel like it'd be appropriate if I had a Bulbasaur. Quagsire is a big derpy boy and I love him. And Porygon, I love polygonal creatures. But I feel like, realistically, if I lived in the world of Pokemon, I would genuinely take Vulpix as my partner Pokemon. Like, I don't know necessarily what it is about Vulpix that I love so much. Well, there's like bits and pieces, but for the most part, I really like Vulpix design-wise. I think it's a cute little fella. I wouldn't need an Everstone because it evolves through stone evolutions, and I wouldn't want to ever evolve it. Brock had one, which was cute. and yada yada. But basically, if I was to ever have a partner Pokemon choice, wait, where'd you all get lasers? Oh right, they're over here.
Laser sights here.
Anyway, but if I ever had a partner Pokemon, I would want it to be Vulpix. Not this Vulpix. This one's fucking shit. I don't care that they made it an ice type. Get it out of here. I want my little fire puppy.
I have a thing.
Yes.
Hold up here.
Ugh.
That is a really cool thing. Have you ever done a choose your own adventure thing?
Yes.
Okay, so you're familiar with these.
Yes.
I have a very fun Pokemon one.
Yo, I know I've done those before. I think.
You probably have. But to do this one, to do it proper anyways, you probably need something to either jot down some notes on or what have you, whether that's like a notepad or an actual pen and paper. That's your choice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And while I'm doing this, because of the way this works, technically speaking, everybody who's listening can also follow along.
Yo. We love following along.
So if you are down, we could do this real fast. Well, maybe not fast, but, you know, we can do this.
Hold on, let me get to a nice place to observe the surroundings for the viewers, because I'm not going to do this while I'm also playing the video game.
Frag rounds here.
Fair enough.
Especially if I gotta write things down. Aw, sweet! Dude, I found my bed! Oh wait, it has a frame. Never mind. It's not my bed. I really wanted this for a minute. There, this is my little streaming corner. No. Better yet, I need to parkour. I need to be high. I need to be elevated. Elevation is the key to a great peak content spot. But I can't do it. There's no good spots, Mox. All I can do is, fuck it, I'll just stand at the computer and I'll just hang out here. Thank you, guys. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, hold on. I'm messaging Snoo something.
Message Snoo something.
Welcome back, Teddy.
Hello, Taddy. We're talking about Pokemon. Snoo is Dusk Form Lycanroc. I think that's the red wolf one that stands on 2 legs. Really testing my Pokemon knowledge here. It's only 4:42. Surprised.
Yeah, it's still pretty early. It feels like we've been doing this a lot longer.
Yeah, I've only been live. Oh, well, I've been live for 2 hours.
Stu is gonna pass, and that's fine. Okay.
Dusk is the combo of both. All 4 with green eyes, orange forelegs.
I got this Pokemon style choose your own adventure thing. I'm gonna read off things, and for those of you who are wanting to participate in it, just basically have like a sheet of paper or like a notepad or something pulled up to write some things down.
Or just use chat if you need.
Or if you use chat, I guess if you
give me some of those chat points where the Twitch's algorithm will read that I'm getting more messaging through my time being here, so it'll attract more people. Anyway,
to begin, it's a warm summer night, lit by the glow of the moon. Lying in the grass, you watch the stars while enjoying a cool breeze that caresses your face and makes the leaves of the surrounding trees rustle. It is a magical moment, full of nostalgia and old memories. Memories of young years that you will no longer experience. Unforgettable encounters and wonderful adventures. You remember, you were just a young trainer. Our first decision. Choose your tone. Would you prefer a comfy tone? In this version of it, everything is cuter, softer, and more enchanting than usual. It is a world of friendship and travel rather than combat. It's possible to do, normally impossible things like understand Pokemon language in a comfy world. Would you prefer a bright tone for your journey? It's a standard and well-known version of the Pokemon verse. It's basically how it usually is depicted for things. There's a general sense of safety and wonder. Criminals are either noble or petty, then cruel. Death and suffering are concepts that exist but never really seen, and everything seems to be born out of a child's dream. Realistic. A more grounded adventure, where aspects of society that were normally ignored in the Pokeverse are more present. Pokemon can die or end up crippled after a fight, and trainers tend to risk their lives in combat due to the collateral damage that can come from some of the attacks. You can't make money as easily by fighting trainers at road corners and so on. And then finally, Grim. You were born into a particularly dark and twisted version of Pokemon. In this world, Pokemon were terrifying and ferocious beasts. Nature is extremely dangerous, and a Pokemon trainer's usual lifespan is very short. War, misery, suffering, and violence are omnipresent, and it is a more semi-horrific world. Basically describes itself as Pokemon Berserk. Make your choice. Gumpy, bright, realistic, or grim?
I was thinking realistic for a minute, but I think I might go with grim because it just makes me think of the Pokemon manga.
You know what? I'm doing this. I'm reading this, and I might as well follow along too.
Yeah.
All right. Your region. So the region is going to be sort of a thing of creation. You can either choose the name of the region that you were born in, or we can assemble a region name by rolling a d20. What would you prefer?
I think it's more funny to just say a random name. I mean, does this affect much, or is it just going to be...
All of this is basically for building your Pokemon experience.
Ah.
So it matters as much as the previous choice did. And the future ones. So you can either say that you're from a particular region just with this new tone, or the same tone as it was before, or there could be a new region available for you.
Nah, fuck it. Well, let's do the roll one.
Alrighty. Would you like me to roll for you, or would you like to roll?
You're good at rolling things. If you wouldn't mind.
Sure, will do.
Roll.
Your region name is...
I'm gonna pull up a d20 for later, though.
Hahenn. Hahen.
Hold on, what was that? Sorry? H-A-H-E...
NN.
NN?
It's like Hoenn, but it's... Yeah, it's like Hoenn, but it's
Whoa! Bootleg Hoenn.
Bootleg Hoenn.
Han.
Let's see, what did I get?
I better not...
Mine is Goomy. The world that I got is Goomy.
Dude, that's a sick world. Wait, so how does it determine this from the dice again?
So the numbers that are rolled, there are 2 rolls that basically are in part of it, and the number will correspond with different letters. In this particular case, the numbers that you got were where was it again? 6, and then you got 12.
Ah.
I got 11, and then I got a 13. You make up name, that's fine. So that's the region that you're from. Now for the urbanization of the region that you're at. Is it a heavily urbanized area where it's a very technically advanced region that has spread its civilization through the entire region? Vast magasites are connected by a network of wide highways, and no part of the country has been left uncharted. Even the most places of the world are still populated by a few peasants in their hamlets. Is it a mostly rural? It is this generally sparsely populated region, and the villages and the main towns are few and far between, separated by large expanses of nature. A young trainer who wishes to travel there has often has to camp under the stars, as it can take several days of walking through the countryside, forests, and mountains to reach a city. Or is it wild? This mysterious region is still largely unexplored. As a virgin land where nature reigns supreme, probably populated by mostly unknown and unstudied Pokemon. The few human communities that have settled here are probably newly established colonies run by pioneers, adventurers, and scientists. Urbanized, rural, or wild?
I'm a big fan of rural. Excuse me.
Alrighty. Urbanized, and I went for wild. Which is all fine and dandy.
Where was I? Oh.
Sorry, I got a friend request from what appears to be a bot that is
it
in its bio
Nathan's?
ranting. Huh?
Is it a name Nathan's?
No, but
Okay.
in its bio, it was ranting and yelling about anti-LGBT stuff. So I saw that and I went, no, no, thank you.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
just
bye-bye.
lately a bunch of people on my server have been saying they keep getting requests from a person named Nathan's, and then that person also just friended me midstream.
I see.
Also,
Now for
Bearded
landscape.
Neptune is watching you. Watching you from
Neptune's always watching.
behind.
Neptune's always watching.
I can't wait to G-modify a Bearded Neptune. It's definitely going to be a thing.
A piss-bearded Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, it won't be the same way that this one looks, but I'll try my damnedest with the assets I have opportunities to use.
All right. This one's going to be a little more involved.
Yo.
So we've already established the sort of urbanization of your area that you're going to. Well, how about its general landscapes? You can select 6 of these. So the way we'll do this is if what I'm saying seems interesting to you, you can write it down or choose to pass on it.
And do I have to choose 6 or?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to choose, well, technically no more than 6. So if you only want to choose 1 or 2 of these things, that is still a viability.
Got it.
The first one is a wooded biome. Vast forests with caves, ponds, and clearings where insects frolic and birds sing. The bushes hide the lair of many wild Pokemon, and tall grass abound. Careful not to get lost. Hills. Gentle rolling hills dotting the countryside, between which flowery paths zigzag. It is the ideal place to set up a farm, a sheepfold, or vineyards. Mountains. This region features high and impressive rocky mountains that are popular with trappers and climbers. Steep paths allow you to cross them, but beware of vertigo. As an addition to mountains, if you so wish to have mountains, you can have snowy peaks. It allows your mountains to have a range with snow-capped peaks, at the foot of which you can find chalets and logging villages. Reaching the top requires braving the cold blizzards. Flatlands. A large part of this region is covered by vast wimsett plains and grassy meadows. Where you stand in the middle of the horizon, you see the distance seems almost inaccessible. Cliffs. High stone cliffs covered with mist and natural rock arches, dominating the tumultuous sea and protecting the land from the ferocious waves that come crashing down below. Taiga. A large boreal forest full of conifers. The area is snow-covered most of the time and is used as a sanctuary by Pokemon who come here to hibernate in their dens during the winter. Swamps. A wet marshland that stretches for miles and miles. It is a paradise for many insects, lizards, and aquatic Pokemon that sleep just below the surface of the muddy pools of water. Rivers. The region is crossed either by a gigantic river that splits the country in two, or by a network of countless rivers that delight fishermen, ideal for traveling by boat or canoe. Lakes. One or more large lakes in the center of the region where large aquatic Pokemon live. Small fishing villages have been established around the lakeshore. Beachfront. Your region's coastlines give onto the ocean. Here, long strips of sandy beaches bathed in sunlight provide a place to relax or try to capture Pokemon buried in the sand. If you have beachfront or cliffs, you can have islands. A cluster of small islands off the coast of your region. Are they inhabited? You'll need a ship or an aquatic Pokemon to explore them.
Would that count as a separate thing, or is that a perk
Yes.
that comes with? Okay.
It is a separate thing, but if you have the prerequisite, you can have it. The jungle. A deep tropical rainforest where the air is warm and humid, and where the lush vegetation is a tough obstacle. Many predators have made it their territory. A volcano. A majestic volcano that stands in the center of the region, or on its own shoulders. It is dormant, or still active? Either way, climbing it is long and dangerous, but the view is splendid. If you have a river, you can have a waterfall. Breathtaking waterfall, descending over dozens of meters. The sound is so thunderous that you can't even hear yourself talk when you're close by.
He said Thunderous, that's a Pokemon.
A canyon. A huge rift born from weathering and erosion, now located in an arid area of the region, dominated by an immense blue sky and a warm sun. The place is gorgeous and verdant. A cave system. A network of underground caverns and tunnels far below the surface, which has only been partially explored. It's easy to get lost, but the place attracts many adventurers and trainers. A desert. A vast expanse of dry and arid land where a dusty wind blows endlessly, or an immense sand desert of silent dunes, hides many mysteries, dangers, and dreamlike wonders. And finally, a savanna. Grassy plains, home to many carnivores, surrounded by a large canopy and an oasis. Herds of Pokemon gallop freely here under the sun. And those are all the landscapes that can feature in this new area that you have created.
Funky.
So what did you choose?
I wrote it all down while picking a few on the way, and I just want to quickly see, how many do I have picked? 1, 2,
If we didn't choose
3, 4,
on
5.
earlier, can we choose is now or no? Oh, yeah. You can do this however you want. To make things a little easier for the people who are at home doing this,
Yeah.
I'm going to post the link to the thing that I am going off of.
Yo.
So that it's available over here. Unfortunately, I'm not a moderator, so I can't pin it for anybody who wants to see it as they're going along.
Yo.
But it's an option.
If only you had a way to pin it. Oh, actually,
Wow.
I'm not going to do that. The reason why is because, I think I did pin it. It covers,
You
like,
did.
the majority of my, chat toggle. So it'll just block out, like, pretty much all the dialogue that is new. And it becomes a big old mess. Big old mess. I gotta pick a last one. I
Well, you
really
can have
like
up to
some of
6.
these.
So.
Well, I already have 5.
Alright.
Oh, wait, no.
I chose to have
I'll get rid of
woods,
that.
flatlands, mountains, snowy peaks, cave system, and a desert.
I'm gonna take... I'm debating between jungle and swamp for my last one. I'm gonna go with jungle, because it's jungle out there. I swear, I swear. So, I went with wooded biome, flatlands, taiga, lakes, jungle, cave system.
I'm actually surprised at the lakes.
Why is that?
Hydrophobic boy.
Yeah, but this isn't... I'm not going physically into the water in real life.
I see.
You see, this
Okay,
place
now-
doesn't truly exist yet, Mox. Keyword
Yes, that's
is
true.
yet.
So this one's a bit more involved, as there are a lot of options, but you can only choose up to 3 of these things, as they are noteworthy features of the region. Okay? And as far as I can tell from looking over it, there aren't any requirements or prerequisites, so you can just have these, even if they don't necessarily make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first one is a train to nowhere. Your region is traversed by a railway line running all around the country and connecting all the important places. However, many travelers claim that an odd-looking driverless train sometimes arrives at an unnamed station in the northern part of your region. It is said to visit the strange place that doesn't really belong to our world, and you should never stay past the end of the line or you'll be taken to the land of nowhere. The Metropolis. The capital of your region is a huge, world-famous city, attracting millions of tourists. The streets are full of music and passers-by, and there are countless activities to do there for fun, work, Pokemon training, or fighting. It is easy to get lost and be dazzled by the city lights and the crowds, the huge buildings, but be careful not to venture into its darkest alleys, though. Shady businesses happen there, and perhaps is what you're looking for, right? An ancient forest. Countless legends surround this majestic forest, almost venerated by the local elders. A scent of serenity floats in the air, but don't be mistaken. This place is full of danger. You venture there only at your own risk. Between the illusions created by the venerable trees and the monstrous Pokemon lurking in the shadows, originating from times so distant that men did not exist, it is easy for an unwary traveler to come to a premature end. The Silent City. Scientists are still wondering what ancient, extinct civilization might have erected this huge labyrinthine city. Now in ruins, the place is forbidden to enter, but many Pokemon trainers have defied the law to explore it. Stories say that passageways and corridors change their aspects when you turn your back on them, and that you can walk around in circles for hours without noticing it. At night, chilling screams echo in the distance. The Academy. This facility is a world-renowned Pokemon training academy. Aspiring trainers from all over the world come here to study. Teachers are all former trainers and arena champions. The headmaster once even defeated the Elite Four in his home region. On the program, theoretical study of combat strategies, daily duels between students, monthly inter-class tournaments, practical survival exercises in the wilderness once a week, and separate dormitories for boys and girls.
Yo. This is
Enigmatic Shrine. Oh, yeah?
Sorry, I was gonna say, unrelated to that, well, somewhat related. That just reminded me, one game that I really want to play on stream sometime. Well, play is a bit more of a funky term, but is Pokemon Academy, where it's like this Pokemon like visual novel dating game, where it takes like all the protagonists from I think like the first 5 generations of Pokemon and then throws them all into an academy, and there's a bunch of stuff. Anyway, that's all I really gotta say for that.
Fair enough. Enigmatic Shrine. This very ancient shrine, protected by a community of monks warriors living in a nearby temple, is a place of pilgrimage for trainers from all over the region, and even beyond. No one really knows its origins, but it is said to mark the place of the death of a legendary trainer from a distant past. Meditating at the base of the shrine is rumored to bring absolute peace of mind, visions of profound meaning, and guidance for local spirits. The Lighthouse. This lighthouse was once a fighting arena held by a champion specialist in water-type Pokemon. A tragedy occurred there, however, and the place is now officially abandoned. Although a keeper that no one has ever seen turns the light at the top every night. Strange processions of sea Pokemon take place in the area in late autumn, and they seem to be mourning something without anyone knowing what, before disappearing into the water. The March of the Braves. A road so dangerous that only a handful of trainers have made it to the top, although hundreds attempt the journey every year, sometimes coming from faraway places. Odd tales are carved in the stone, and become more and more cryptic as you go up. It is considered a sacrilege to reveal what is at the top to those who have not earned it. An incredible treasure, the lair of a legendary Pokemon, no one knows except for those who have seen it with their own eyes.
So what was
The
that?
Hidden
The
Village.
March of which?
The March of the Braves.
Alright, thank you.
The Hidden Village. A hamlet located in the most inaccessible part of your region, at the top of a huge mountain or on the other side of an impenetrable desert. Its inhabitants are totally cut off from the rest of the world and don't know what's going on outside. Its existence is unknown to most people. There, you can find a temple, hot springs where you can relax, and a community of ninjas who will accept to teach you their techniques in exchange for a certain price. Mount Kabayashi, the highest mountain in the region, whose summit rises over the clouds. Oxygen is scarce and the blizzard is almost constant. It has become a training ground for the most reckless or crazy trainers. It is said that the living conditions are so harsh and wild, Pokemon are so powerful there, that a month's stay here with your team is the equivalent of a year's worth of hard training. At the foot of the mountain is an inn, whose owner will tell you many stories about the legend of this place and its creatures. The Wandering People. Your region is home to a nomadic community with ancient origins, traveling on the roads in family caravans or several dozen people. They are appreciated by trainers because they are very friendly with the travelers and always ready to give their help. However, their traditions, customs, and mysterious knowledge of the are almost unknown because they trust no one outside their community. In order to be accepted among them and be seen as one of their own, you have to deserve it and prove your courage. Madame LaCroix's Palace. In this underground casino, incredible fortunes can be made overnight. You can also lose everything in the blink of an eye. The special thing about this establishment that makes it famous all over the world is that only trainers are allowed in, and all games are based on Pokemon fights. There would be a secret floor accessible only to the most talented trainers who have gathered the 8 badges of the region, but who knows what could be gained there. The Flying Coliseum, a gigantic flying arena where every 3 years a titanic tournament is held, attracting thousands of trainers from all over the world. Winning this competition is considered as prestigious as defeating the Pokemon League champion. At the entrance is a pantheon with statues of previous winners. The fights are televised all over the world, and some participants become world-known legends after their match. The current champion has ruled the tournament for 9 years and is still undefeated. The Chasm, a seemingly bottomless rift that plunges into the depths of the earth. A promontory has been built at its edge, from which new expeditions of scientists, speleologists, and Pokemon trainers are launched every month. The fauna, flora that have flourished in this hole are abnormal. There are Pokemon that are believed to have been extinct since prehistoric times. So far, only a small fraction of the chasm has been explored. The Port. One of the towns in your vast region is a bustling harbor city in which dozens of ships from across the seas arrive and depart every day. Walking along the docks is the best way to hear stories of sailors returning from faraway places to meet and confront trainers from distant shores and to exchange Pokemon unknown to you. Native to exotic lands, in a bar, crazy Captain Joe agrees for a decent price to take you on his boat to the most dangerous of shores. The Crystal Cave. There are several caves scattered here and there in the region, which provide access to a vast crystal cavern beneath the earth. Strange and fascinating life forms have developed here, but most intriguing are the crystals themselves, which according to legend are crystallized Pokemon that have been dormant for millennia. By placing your hand on them, it's possible, for a brief moment, to share their dreams. The Wall. A wall of absurd proportions, rising so high it is impossible to see the top of it. Most scientists agree that its composition does not correspond to any known material, and that it probably stood here before the arrival of humans in this region. It's so flat that climbing it's almost impossible, and the air currents are so strong at high altitudes that you can't fly over it with a Pokemon bag. What could possibly be on the other side of the wall? The Mushroom Valley.
Yo!
A very strange valley where giant mushrooms grow. The deeper into the place you go, the more strange and inexplainable things happen. The mushrooms are talking and singing. The gravity starts to change in some places. You can see wonderful creatures at the corner of your eye. Some trainers have never returned from this valley, but some people say that there is a fabulous treasure at its center, and that and it's worth taking all the risks. The Bazaar Shop. There exists a strange shop in your region that seems to change location. As soon as you stop looking at it, one day it's here, and the next it's gone. Another building has replaced it. The old smiling lady behind the counter will never answer your questions, but will sell you weird items such as Pokeballs that don't exist anywhere else. Skeletons of unknown Pokemon and artifacts that seem to come from another era. Sometimes she says she's so old you couldn't comprehend it. And finally, the never-ending storm. Somewhere in your region, a monstrous storm arose centuries ago and has not stopped since. Legend has it that this whirlwind was created by the wrath of a legendary Pokemon that is said to be sleeping in the eye of the hurricane. In the storm, every step is agony. Going through it and coming back alive has become a ritual for some trainers who want to prove their strength. Some in return claim that the heart of the storm is actually a portal to another world. And you choose 3 of these things.
3?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my god. Let me think on this then. Trying to know where I'm removing you. Mushroom Valley, pretty pog, but I'm gonna get rid of it. Cause it pog, but not pog enough. I'll get rid of Hidden Village. I've got 4 left. What one do I cut?
I don't know.
I will cut Neverending Storm, Crystal Cave, March for the Braves, Ancient Forest. These are my current ones. I'm gonna get rid of the cave. I don't want to get rid of the cave, but I'm gonna get rid of the cave. Also, I just pulled up the thingy thing now, and I think I misunderstood the first part of it. I don't know if that's gonna change anything right now, or if it's like do things later to figure that out.
Your tone?
Yeah. Do you know, is that gonna ruin the end result if I change it now rather than later, or?
No.
Alright. No. I'm switching to realistic. Alright, there, we did it. Anyway.
Alright. You have yours? What did you choose?
I chose Ancient Forest, The March of the Braves, and Neverending Storm.
Oh, that's interesting. The Metropolis, Silent City, and Mount Kobayashi for Wisp. And for me, I chose the Metropolis, the Crystal Cave, and the Wall.
Yo, I was thinking about the Wall, but I decided not to. And the Crystal Cave was my last of the 4. Sorry, go ahead.
I could not pass on a mystery like the Wall. That just intrigued the shit out of me.
Yeah. I don't know why it made me... Well, I know why, but it made me think of the Maze Runner. But, like, extra.
Alright. So this one's going to be a little more involved.
Mm-hmm. You've been saying that for the last 2 to 3 questions.
Well, this one is special. It's the criminal organization of your area.
Yeah.
What would a Pokemon region be without bad guys, right?
Yeah.
So you can give it a name, team whatever. That doesn't necessarily matter, but you can choose. This one is going to be better off for having the actual reference picture or the reference image on the side, because you need to pick one option from each of these 4 different styles of villain things to feature and define the villainous team. And what I mean by that is there are 4 options: aesthetic, motivation, leader, and methods. Okay? Every one of these things has a bunch of options. You have to pick one for each of these things. So, an example, in the aesthetic, you would need to choose if they are a military style, mafia style, cultist style, cheap style, or ninja style. Team Gravers, and mine is Team Peak.
I'm just gonna name mine Team.
They're just Team.
What if I called them the A Team and I chose military?
Well, Team.
Honestly, I was thinking that as well, but I was like, nah. Alright. I got mine. I'm going military.
Their motivation, money and power, a noble cause, revenge, religious fanaticism, or they just want to see the world burn.
Burn.
Their leader, Machiavellian, aka highly sophisticated.
Dude, it's
Melancholic,
Light Yagami.
crazy,
Just as planned.
mysterious, serious, or brutal. And their methods, secretive, spectacular, balanced, or unpredictable. My Team Peak is a cultist organization with a noble cause whose leader is crazy and unpredictable.
Actually, I
And now
might change burn to revenge. It feels better.
Ooh. Interesting. Mafia, world burn, crazy, and spectacular. Oh, you've got a bunch of crazy mafiosos, huh, Wisp? And now, Wisp, you may have noticed that the top of this thing says page 1. And that's because there are multiple pages to this thing. And I wasn't sure how involved we wanted to get with it. Because ultimately, there are about 3 pages worth of this nonsense.
Funky.
Mm-hmm. So we could pause it here, or we could keep going. I'll leave that one up to the boy.
I mean, I'm fine with whichever. I'm just still deciding a method. Indecisive, you know? I'm gonna make them balanced.
Balance.
Military revenge, melancholic, balanced.
You got a depressed, like, leader.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Is there a location for a page 2?
There is a page 2 right here.
Yo, that's just the actual picture. Yo. Oh god, I can't actually make it go any closer.
It's pretty big.
I can't read.
That's why I'm going to be going over it still.
Yo.
But it's there. As the next part is your home, the environment in which you grew up in this region. Did you grow up on the city streets? A big city, perhaps with the capital of your region? You know the cityscape by heart and can navigate it perfectly. Cinemas, carnivals, and bars were an integral part of your youth. You probably developed a large social circle during your childhood. Did you grow up in a charming village? You were born and raised in a lovely little village in the countryside or at the seaside, attending the small local school and playing with the neighborhood children in your garden, or sometimes venturing out into the wild outside the village. Did you grow up an isolated youth? On a secluded family estate, such as a little farm lost in the wilderness. Your mother acted as your school teacher and taught you how to read and write. With no children to frequent, you had a solitary childhood, but close to nature and wild Pokemon. And lastly, on the roads. Because of your situation of your parents, who may have been intermediate trainers themselves, you never had a fixed home and grew up nomadic. As soon as you made friends in a new city, you knew you would have to leave them soon, and that was painful. I'm nomadic on the roads.
Big fan of On the Roads. On the road again. Can't wait to be on the road again.
Why did you leave your home? To try and reach the top? The League Elite Four, the ultimate consecration for any true Pokemon trainer. This has always been your goal, and for as long as you can remember. Before you could write, you already knew the names of all the great trainers who had marked their names in history and been recorded in the Hall of Heroes. Your dream was to become one of them. No, it was to surpass them, following in his footsteps. Despite the fact that you grew up without him, your father's presence has always resonated in your home. Through the stories your mother told you about him, the trainer's badges hang on the walls, your family name that inspired respect, fear, and admiration in everyone. He was a legendary trainer, and you were determined to follow in his footsteps. The call of adventure. The world is full of wonderful places to discover and incredible people to meet. It was through the tales your mother would read to you in the evenings about distant and exotic regions that you developed this taste for thrills and adventure, this quest for danger, and this thirst for freedom in wide open spaces. Your destiny as a trainer was obvious. Tragedy. You had no choice. A cruel fate descended upon you and forced you to leave your home and face the dangers of the world. Were you chased from your home by your parents? Was your family murdered? Did a natural disaster destroy your home, leaving you totally helpless? In any case, thinking back on your past triggers a terrible pain in your heart. Making friends! As your mother always told you, enjoy the little detours to the fullest, because that's where you'll find the things more important than what you want. What you've always dreamed of is making new friends and enjoying life with them. The rest is almost secondary. However, you will do everything to protect them, and nothing has ever stopped you in this quest.
I think I realized I'm just making the story of Boot, and
Oh,
I don't have a problem with that. But right now, all I can think of is my little headcanon story of the kid from the slums who I had cannoned to have druggy parents who named him Boot because they were high, and then eventually they died, and he was raised by like a homeless man in the slums who was on the brink of dying, and so Boot was like, well, I'm gonna go then, and then embarks on his little journey. So tragedy works very well.
tragedy. Now, for your starter. Now, there are 3 starter Pokemon here. I find it more interesting to, instead of picking one of these things, simply choose the type. Either a grass, fire, or water starter, as is customary.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the most interesting part of it, as the next follow up is the far more important one. How did you get your starter? Were you given it? As a young child who sets out on an adventure to become a trainer, he or she is most often directed to the local scientist lab, where they get their first Pokemon. That's what happened to you, and that's how you got your starter. Was it inherited? Your starter was part of the family even before you left home. You've known it since you were a child. Did he belong to either of your parents? Was it left to you by your uncle or a cousin? Regardless, your bond was strong from the very beginning of your journey. Adopted. It was your starter who came to you. Did you find it one night scratching at your door, wounded or hungry and looking for shelter? Did it simply jump on you at the turn of a road by surprise to lick your face as if it already loved you? I've got a grass starter that I adopted. Wisp as a fire starter that they adopted.
I have gone for Fier. because all I can think of is I know, like, again, now I'm just thinking about Boot, but also I have this headcanon where he's got a real attachment to Vulpix. So now I'm just going like, yeah, because in Pokemon Outlaw, one of the starters is Vulpix. Again, not the exact same story, but fuck it. I'm mixing them. I'm meshing them together. Ow!
Meshing them.
I hurt my fist by punching my hand because I bent my fingers in a weird way.
So how did you get them? Was it given, inherited, or adopted?
Oh, right, I didn't say that part out loud. Adopted.
We all chose adopted.
Adopted. Adoption is cute.
All right. Pick the vibe you want. Do you want to have a cute vibe? Whether it's your choice of clothing, your overall kawaii face, your language, tics, or your general attitude, you radiate innocence and joy of life. Your optimum and cheerfulness are easily transmitted to everyone you meet. A dynamic vibe. You wear the typical outfit of a trainer, ready to fight at any time. Lightweight, flexible, probably short sleeve, sportswear. The whole thing, in addition to your attitude, gives you the cool vibe of a main character in a story. Noble. You are elegant and classy at all times. The nobility you display in your clothes, your manner of speaking, and your posture give you an air both distinguished and mysterious. You can afford to look smug. It fits you pretty well. Dangerous. Looking serious in all circumstances, you wear a sober and dull outfit, but adapted to combat, and your expression gives off the same vibe as a predator on the lookout. Your gaze and your silence make it clear that you are not to be messed with. Badass. You exude a cool attitude. Not that of a dynamic trainer, but that of a grizzled and bored veteran who doesn't seem to care about anything, but is capable of kicking ass at any time. This is the typical look of the hardened adventurer who would make a perfect mentor. Sinister. There is something off about you, both in the way you look and the way you act. Gives you a creepy and mysterious aura that makes people you meet uncomfortable and causes them to look at you with a kind of unexplainable fear in their eyes.
I went for Sinister.
I also went for Sinister. See what was decided. Also Sinister. We're all Sinister. Fighting style. Every trainer over the course of their career eventually develops a style of their own, but which can still be placed in one of the general categories. You only get one of these things, but there's a special ability tied to all of them. I'm not going to explain the special ability. I'm going to read off the thing, and then once everyone's made their decision, I'll tell you what your special ability is. Balanced. A balanced style, rather academic, which has neither real weak points or no real strengths, but which, if well mastered, can adapt to all possible situations and face any opponent. You have probably built your team in such a way as to bring together varied and complementary types. Mobile. While training your Pokemon, you've put an emphasis on their mobility, agility, and speed. You've taught them to constantly dodge incoming attacks and to be as elusive as possible. You yourself, on the field, constantly run left and right to motivate your Pokemon and spot better angles of attack. Offensive. Your style may seem to lack finesse, but it is nonetheless devilishly effective. You build your team around powerful Pokemon with devastating attacks. In combat, your strategy is to submerge your opponent in a constant barrage of attacks and finish the match as quickly as possible. Resilient. Most of your Pokemon are probably very muscular or have strong shells and scales, allowing them to tank enemy attacks without taking damage or counter effectively. You never hit first, but wait for your opponent to exhaust themselves against your guards before retaliating. Vicious. You don't bother with such trivial and pointless things as honor or fair play. A fight is a fight. To win, all means are good. You have become an expert in the art of spotting your opponent's weak points and attacking them treacherously, in a deceitful but dreadfully effective way. Heroic. The deep and solid bonds of friendship and trust that you and your Pokemon have built up have made you stronger. You understand each other without talking. Your synergy is such that your mutual determinations feed off of each other, allowing you to emerge victorious in the most desperate situations. Tactician. You see every contest as a chess match. You find pleasure in the act of planning your moves in advance, predicting those of your opponents, and surgically destroying their strategies piece by piece. In your mind, the fight is already over before it starts because you have anticipated all possible outcomes. Healer. Your tactics are heavily based on the extensive use of items to boost your Pokemon in battle and potions to heal them. Over the course of your career, you develop formidable combinations of items that can amplify your Pokemon's abilities and deal with any type. Improviser. Planning is boring and kills all the fun. Developing a strategy on the fly, exploiting your current environment to take your foe off guard, and adapting to the on the spot to your opponent's technique is a delicate and perilous, but incredibly fun art, and you mastered it perfectly. Observer. You are cautious, able to wait patiently to detect a flaw in your opponent's tactician before rushing in and destroying him mercilessly. This strategy is risky because it puts your Pokemon in danger, but it is one of the most effective and subtle at a high level. Sapper. You are an expert in the art of messing up with your opponent's strategy by altering the status of his Pokemon through paralysis, poison, confusion, sleep. By crippling your opponent's Pokemon, you gradually exhaust them and ensure your victory in the long run. The most annoying style for anyone who faces you. Unorthodox. Your style may seem goofy and eccentric, but you are the only one who has mastered it and knows its weaknesses. This unique style has the knack of driving your opponents crazy, but beware, its unpredictability and weirdness can also cause it to backfire on you at the worst possible moments. I made my decision.
I went with Tactician.
Okay. Tactician's special ability is all according to Keikaku. I chose Viciousness, which is assassination.
I was conflicted between... Oh god, I accidentally switched my picture while I was trying to scroll and I pulled up Pickle Nagito.
No, Pickle Nagito.
I was debating between Tactician, Vicious, and Observer. But then I inevitably decided Tactician.
I actually was wondering if you were going to go unorthodox.
Nah. I'm building a serious boy.
Okay. So, this is another one of those involved ones. Okay. There are 3 different things to choose from on this, and you will be able to choose 3 memories from each of these categories. Not from all of them, mind you, but you know. And every single one of these has a conclusion. You only get 3 memories, but you only get 1 conclusion. So we'll start with the memory bits, as these are life events. The rival. You were brothers in arms, as that's one of the memories, is brothers in arms. This respect that was born between you has only grown stronger. You consider yourselves as equals and are ready to come to the aid of the other whenever it needs it. Lost friendship. Life flows by and ambitions fade away. For one reason or another, your paths have diverged. You no longer have that much in common. Bitterness. Something happened. A deep fracture, conflict, and regrets. He's not your rival anymore. He's your enemy. If any of these sound nice to you, you can select them. Hell, you could select all 3 of them. You can only have 3 of these things.
Wait, I thought that was the conclusion, no?
No, these were all memories.
Oh.
So you get to pick 3 of these things I'm going to be listing off. And this is just in the rival category.
No, I got that part. I thought it was the other way around.
Nope. The God in the Mist. An epic battle. You managed to capture it after an incredible battle that would have made history if it had a witness. Now you have a god fighting at your side. the deep respect. There, you knelt down. The god accepted your homage and, in return, made you an offering. What was its gift? An endless quest. It took flight and disappeared. You accepted its roar as an invitation to follow it. The hunt continues to this day. The Elite Four category. Crushing victories. You defeated all 5 of them without mercy. From now on, you stand at the top. What is there left for you to conquer? New allies. Each of your matches against them was a learning experience and an opportunity to make a new friend. You no longer see them as obstacles, but as partners. And finally, the valuable lesson. In the end, you didn't make it, but your defeat taught you an incredibly valuable lesson that still resonates in your heart today. What was it? He was considered unorthodox. So those are the memories available, and of all the things, you get to choose 3 of them. 1 from each category. You gotta get ready for going home for the weekend. Yeah, no worries. I'm probably gonna put this thing in my Discord for the 4Cam one, so if you want to pick it up later, there's your option. But so you got your
Hold
3
on.
memories to pick from all of these things.
No, it's three memories and 1 conclusion for each, right?
Yeah, you pick your memories.
Yeah, but the memories are what the boxes are. Because a lot of the, 3 options per each are what happen after some of these events. So if you're picking 1 conclusion for each of the 3 memories, then that's 1 memory and 1 conclusion for that specific memory.
Yeah. You are correct.
So it's 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1.
Not gonna let me have my fun, are you?
No, I'm just trying to understand this properly, because at the first one, when you said the rival,
so the
you
way
could
you're-
say, you said you
No.
could, pick all 3 of the options,
If you wanted
and that's
to,
why
yes.
I was confused. But it says...
That's where I'm having my fun.
Oh, okay. I was just confused, because I was saying the way it was read.
By the way that it is technically created, you are correct.
Okay.
I'm putting a twist to it.
Yeah, then you do you.
Anywho, there's more to read.
Yeah.
Traumatic defeat. Harsh training. You went on a long journey, taking your training from the beginning. It was incredibly hard, but in your second encounter, you managed to defeat him. Disciple. You meditated on your defeat and presented yourself before him a few days later. This time you had asked him to accept you as his disciple. Ghost of the past. You have never seen him again, but he still haunts your mind when you train. It is his face that you see. It motivates you. Category of a legend. A protective hand. You rarely saw them again, but felt their invisible influences around you, as if they were constantly monitoring your progress and intervening in the shadows to help you. Mentor. Eager to see your potential develop, they simply offered you to become their student and to follow them on their travels. Did you accept? Obstacle. Perhaps what they saw in you scared them off. Either way, they became a powerful enemy, constantly seeking to harm you. Lost in the wild. Rebirth. When you came back, neither you nor your Pokemon were the same. You changed to become incomparably stronger, ready to face any challenge. Diary. You wrote everything you had experienced in a log that became famous and allowed many scientists and adventurers to explore this mysterious and terrifying land. Messiah. From this place, you came back full of forbidden knowledge that changed the lives of many people, for good or ill. Me and the boys, the squad. You were their leader. This was never said, but your role was implicit. Everyone gravitated around you and accepted you as the central pivot of the group. The Brotherhood. You were all equal. Decisions were made collectively, and although this sometimes created tension between you, no real conflict ever broke out. The troop. The band did have a leader, but it wasn't you. You, like the others, were attracted by the charisma of the one of your companions, and became his right-hand man. Slice of life. The hot springs. You rested with your Pokemon in hot springs in the wilderness. The hot water quieted your mind and soul. Splendid panorama. You and your Pokemon climbed up to one of the highest points in your region and camped there for a whole day, doing nothing but admiring the breathtaking view. The carnival. You brought your Pokemon to a carnival in your region's capital. You had crazy fun all night long in the festive atmosphere and crazy rides. The first night. Shooting stars. As you looked up at the sky, you watched a beautiful rain of shooting stars with your Pokemon. What did you wish for? Did it come true? The mysterious man. You found yourself on the campfire of a mysterious old man who shared his meal with you and told you an incredible story. The beast. A majestic and powerful wild Pokemon came out of the shadows and, as if it had sensed your fear, rubbed its head against you in a reassuring and protective manner that slept next to you all night. Yaw. Cute. Yeah, this one has a lot to it. A lot to consider, a lot to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay, boy? You sound tired.
I'm alive. Bum, bum. I have picked my boys. And I'm cracking my neck. Ah! I went with Traumatic Defeat, Ghost of the Past. I'm not doing it in your format.
Well, you can do it in however you're gonna do it. It's your adventure.
Then I went with a Legend Obstacle. And then I went Elite Four, Crushing Victory.
I had the rival, I believe. No, not the rival. A God in the Mist, the Epic Battle. Elite Four, Crushing Victory. And then Lost in the Wild, Messiah. Mm-hmm. Now there is one last page.
Yo, pages.
Mm-hmm. And this is the last part of the character builder before the actual quote-unquote game begins.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't account for that part.
You didn't think there was a game to this?
I mean, I was wondering how this is all gonna come together.
Well, you see, at the end of it, you actually have a character that you can do things with.
Pog.
And technically speaking, with the rules that it has set up, you can, in fact, battle with your own trainer that you have just made against other people who have also followed this.
Fun.
Mm-hmm. But the last two parts are, well, actually, it's just one last part. It's career.
That's it?
That's it.
Alright.
Did you want to be a trainer? Remained an independent traveling Pokemon trainer, earning money by participating in tournaments and accepting training contracts for various individuals. A vagabond. You left your region and became a homeless explorer, traveling for the sake of it. The world is full of places to discover, and it was impossible for you to stay in one place all your life.
Dude, that's literally Boot.
You become a Pokemon Ranger, a very special type of trainer, charged with protecting nature and finding lost travelers, equipped with a styler, a device designed to capture Pokemon temporarily without harming them. Scientist. You decided to establish yourself in a laboratory to study Pokemon. What is your field of study? The search for previously unknown Pokemon? Studying their behavior and moves? Designing artificial Pokemon? One day you might even become a professor. Hermit. Tired of the world, you've isolated yourself and your Pokemon in a harsh-to-reach place to lead a hermit's life. Reputation follows you, however, and young trainers brave all dangers to come to you for advice or ask you to become their disciples. A gym leader. Specialized in a particular type of Pokemon, you have been hired by the League to run a dojo dedicated to training and challenging trainers as they make their way through tournaments and regions. Some gym leaders are extremely rich and famous. If you defeated the Elite Four, you can become the champion. After reaching the top and defeating all the trainers in your path, your talent was recognized worldwide and were either accepted into the Elite Four to become the ultimate challenge to the trainers in your region or become the league champion himself. Criminal. Your path has diverged from the other trainers, and now you have gone from light to shadow. What are you? A champion of illegal underground tournaments? The leader of a criminal organization seeking power and money? A terrorist fighting for a just cause? Civil. You were tired from being a trainer and went back to being a civilian. Tired of this turbulent life. With the money you earned and your reputation, you've been able to settle down in town or village. Lead a comfortable life. Happy with your friends and Pokemon. If you have a realistic or grim setting, you can be a mercenary. Trainers are especially valuable in war-torn regions, where devastating attacks from their Pokemon can wreak havoc in an enemy. You become a trainer for hire, serving private armies, fighting on the battlefield alongside your Pokemon in exchange for daily money. And lastly, breeder. For love of Pokemon, you settled on a small farm to work for their benefit. Your daily job is to adopt abandoned or injured Pokemon, pamper them, find ideal mates for them, and help them to raise their babies. It can be a very lucrative opportunity, especially if you work alongside trainers or scientists.
I'm gonna be a criminal.
I'm a vagabond.
Vagabond.
And with that, you have your Pokemon trainer.
Yay!
There's an entire rule set up in style afterwards for actually being able to use it for a game, for challenging other people who have also gone through this, for funsies. It involves rolling dice, using your abilities and things, and using up to 6 Pokemon to battle the shit out of each other.
It's
really cool. And that is the Pokemon Choose Your Own Adventure thing.
Hooray! I made Boot.
You made Boot.
Kinda. But I made Boot. What do you guys think of this?
I thought it was a fun thing, though it definitely was long.
Yeah. Well, that's to be expected. We went in with that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I have like several Pokemon characters here. Nobody's reacting though. It's as if they didn't pay attention. We might have to start from the top. It's funky though. What was I gonna do? Right, I wanted to turn off Bearded Neptune. They are no longer going to be staring at your tiny head.
Oh, tragic.
I know.
Unfortunately, you also will no longer be able to stare at my tiny head, as I'm going to be heading off for the evening.
Holy shit. He let us on with all that, and now he's gonna be like, yup, that's it, I'm gone.
Well, I figure...
I'm gonna go run off into traffic.
You're gonna go run off into traffic?
No, from your perspective. That's where you're running off to. I'll have to shoot the car to drift it out of your way.
Thank you. Oh, I see the car. It's arriving.
No.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I left the window.
Yes.
I did it. I saved the day. I think. I don't know. He might have died. Did he actually leave? I feel like he might have left. Hold on. Yeah, he actually left. Shit. I failed at saving him. That's too bad.
Hey, I got some frag rounds here.
No, I got some frag rounds here. Just as a heads up, I got some frag rounds. Okay, Operation Rescue Vulpix is a go. Mox is gone, guys. Now it's all up to us. Let's go through the window. Oh shit, I forgot about the generator thing.
They're coming.
Alright. Jump! Oh no, help me, team. Go, go, go. Bang, bang. That wasn't a bang. I can't climb. Or rather, I can't move. Go. Ah. Go. Go. Mr. President Vulpix, get down. Oh, Mox just said dead in my chat. Surely he didn't die. Go, poorly textured Vulpix. We're gonna save you. Look at him, he's so cute and tiny. Good job, Zoe. Hiding in here is a great idea. I'm not even gonna play these silly games of holding out somewhere smart. I'm going straight to the helicopter. Straight to the helicopter. There's no helicopter, but I'm going to it. I'm too tired to commentate. Oh shit, you know what I just realized? Mox is gone. Music is on. That's game volume. Music's on, and then I can also turn up the actual volume mixer, because I turned that one down too. Bam, 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 bam. There we go. Should be normal audio now. Quickly, everyone, walk across these poles. I honestly wasn't sure if it had collision or not. There's no such thing as smokers, jockeys, spitters, or any of the things that could do us damage, except for a tank, actually. Ba, 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 da. Is that him? There he is. The zombies cannot use this properly. I want to see how he approaches us, actually. But he's probably going to die before then. He's too big. Cool. Sergeant Vulpix, how are you? Oh god, they fell through. Want to take a look at Vulpix. Aw, look at him. Look at the little guy. It looks like I'm petting him almost, but I don't have enough time to look at him. Because I'm afraid I'm going to set it off. So, how are you guys? What if I just decide to set it to expert difficulty? Just for fun. Oh, you're smart to run away. Coach is protecting him. There, I want like 2 wounded. Give ourselves a fighting chance. Zoe, I need you out of the way. Oh shit. They're finding their way to me. Coach and his giant hitbox didn't make it. Zoe, look out. Oh god, that one landed on its crutch.
Hey, man, you do that again. Okay. Take this.
There, now we deal with an actual threat. Where from? I don't know. But somewhere. They started shooting from that way. There he is. Gonna stand behind you guys. So I wanted Coach to be wounded, not dead. Uh-oh. Hey, man. Oh, there's 2 tanks. Shit. Oh, can they even run to me from there? Yes. Uh-oh. Now it's an actual fight. Bum bum ba da 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 bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. Oh, we won? Oh god, Dragonite. What a death grip, buddy. Uh-oh. Tanky poo. Wee! 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 No. No. Okay. Let me take him down. Let me take him down. No! Did it count me as saved? Because I was down, but I was somewhat on it? Well, IF died. Francis, help! Oh shit, I did die. So did Francis. Usually if the survivor is on the chopper when they're down, they live. Okay, so only Zoe and Lewis made it. Only Red and Green made it. Wow. Oh, why did I skip it? Oh, I know, because I felt like going. Alright, well, that was our stream. It was a fun time. Lotus just changed her profile picture to a synthetic moth thing. Hold on, her picture changes. That's weird. I don't know what that is. Anyway, thingy thing. Now we gotta go raid a person. While Mox was doing all his lovely reading, I decided to pull up Twitter. Because I just wanted to quickly check something. And then I saw somebody writing how they went live, and it's a person who I just followed, like, within the past day. And they're doing a stream, so I'll see if they're still live. If they are, Pog. If they aren't, unpog. It appears they are still live. Piloteroni, if I'm saying the name correctly. It's like pilot and then Eroni. But that's who I'm raiding today. Solely because they are available for raids. Anyways, thank you all for coming out. Appreciate it. This was a bit of a funky Thursday. Ugh. I got a yawn. Boy is definitely tired. And, what is it? Boy is tired. Illness is going away. I'm still a tad sick, but not overly sick. And things and stuff. Anyway, thanks for coming out. I don't have much else to say. I'm probably just gonna raid and then disappear. But thanks for coming out. Let's raid the person, show them some appreciation, and that's it. Bye-bye.